it was time to go. I just weighed myself. I'm 277. Like, and John, I don't know how much John weighs.
What do you
He's
weigh?
277 pounds.
Get the fuck out of here. How tall are you?
I am 6'3".
Yeah, and you look at me like, where the fuck did that guy come from?
I don't know. It's in the legs,
Give
in
him
the gut.
50. Give him 50 pounds.
I know, dude.
I wish I could.
Meet in the middle.
I should just start running.
Hey, man, I made a joke about it, and then, you know.
I can't believe you weigh that much.
Yeah, I
I
know.
would not even.
Let's get a scale in here. You got a scale?
Yeah,
we'll do it live. I'm not fooling.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
I was 280 for a while, too. And then my wife got
God.
mad at me, and I had to start working out, like, walking. I started walking.
I like that your wife got mad at 280 and you're like,
Yeah.
now I'm 277. Everything's fine.
Check that. 3 pounds down.
That's it.
Can't yell at me more, babe.
Cholesterol. Hey, I went to the doctor. Cholesterol's normal, you know. Friggin' blood pressure's normal. I'm like, all right, well, liver function's normal. I'm like, okay, perfect.
You got one of those,
Just like-
what do they call that? It's like when the guy has like a little bit of a belly, but it's like muscle at the same time.
I mean, it's not a dad bod.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I do not have a dad bod.
I won't even know what a dad bod looks like.
I don't know. I have no idea.
All right. That's the pre-show banter.
Pre-show banter.
All right, guys. 1, 2, 3. All right, guys. Look what we got on the Roy Brothers comedy chairs tonight, or the couch, if that's what you want to call it.
We'll just keep calling it the couch.
Brett Davey.
Yeah.
Brett Davey's on tonight. Thank you
Also,
very much.
Davey.
fun fact, I
Thank
think
you.
my buddy Barry Wilson was the last one who was on the couch.
Yes. Probably. Yeah, I think he was actually.
I think you're right.
Yes. Sorry, Barry. We got rid of the couch.
Come back on.
I don't know
you
if you're
feel
the comic that
soft.
liked it, but yeah, you can come back anytime and enjoy these beautiful couches. These things are very comfortable.
They're
Very
comfortable
yes.
and no bar in your butt.
Yeah. Yes. But I appreciate you coming on, Brett. I appreciate you taking
thank you.
time out of your evening to meet with us. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of, with our episode, kind of just go over your background in comedy and kind of, you know, we were talking a little bit before the show. You're giving us some great pointers and some good tips. You've been in the game for a while. So I kind of want to touch upon all that, but we'll just get right into it. How did you get into comedy? How long have you been doing it? What got you started? Stuff like that.
So a little bit of history. I think that I was on your first like legit show
Yep.
at Twin River at Jerry Longo's. I think.
Jerry Long. Oh,
And,
yes.
yeah.
And Matt had like 75% of the audience.
Yeah.
They were
was-
Matt fans. And I was hosting and I went up and they were like, can you fucking stop? We want Matt.
Yeah.
And Matt was like pacing around.
Oh my God,
and
I was
he didn't
so
have the
nervous.
mustache then.
No.
He didn't have the slick back hair.
No.
I told him he looks like De Niro and Jackie Brown.
I like that.
yeah,
I like that a lot.
That's a good
I
look.
mean-
Because he calls himself fucking Tom Selleck. and-
Or Freddie Mercury posting.
I'm just
post
jealous
dates.
of anyone with hair. I'm
Yeah.
like, so,
Yeah.
so my background was like a lot of people. I took a comedy class, but this was like 30-something years ago. And there used to be a place called the Learning Connection in Wayland Square in Providence, and you could learn like square dancing, welding, like anything. And
That's actually pretty cool.
yeah, but stand-up comedy was one of them. So there's a guy named Frank O'Donnell who's still around. And so I signed up for the first class. They said to write like a 5-minute bit. I go in and there's like 5 guys in the class, including me. So we go in, we each had to stand up. We had to read our bit. And then he gave some critique and he goes, all right, come back next week. We'll do it again. So I go back week 2. No one else shows up. It's just me and the guy, Frank O'Donnell, the comic. So I'm sitting there. He's sitting at a desk. Now I have to stand up, do these same shitty jokes that I did the week before, and there's nobody else. It's just like me and him. So it took on this thing of like being almost like anti-comedy. Like it was so unfunny.
Yeah,
And then we had a third week. We did the same thing. Then the fourth week we did a show. And that was my first show. So I did comedy for like a year back then.
Yeah.
And then I stopped and I started back up again like 3 years ago.
Nice.
Very nice.
I feel like a lot of comics I talk to have said they've done it and then they kind of stopped and went back to it. So I think it's nice that comics always find their way back to comedy. I
Yeah.
think that shows that you really love it, and it's kind of like it's meant to be, you know. But I want to touch base on like you said, we met at Jerry Longo's. That's when me and you met for the first time, and I really appreciated the fact that as soon as I got off the stage, you were the first person that like I kind of was like interacted with, and I was nervous as hell. And you're like, hey, right now was a great set, man. My name's Brett, and this and that. And like I really appreciate that because I was like my first actual show outside the comedy class, and my mic, I couldn't even hold the mic with one hand. It was shaking so much. I hold on to 2, and I thought I sucked. But you were nice, and you're like, hey, man, you did a good job. that was really funny, and honestly, it was really nice. That's something I'll never forget. So I really appreciate that,
Oh, yeah.
and it's kind of cool that you're on our podcast now. 'Cause-
It's funny because no one knows how nerve-wracking that is unless
Oh
you
my
go up
God.
and do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, Brett, you really set the tone for us as brothers to kind of go out there, because when Matt told me that,
Yeah.
it was a real snapshot of what the comedy community in
Yeah.
New England could be.
yep.
And that gave me a lot of hope. And so far, I haven't met any negativity in the scene
Yeah.
yet.
It's funny because
So,
you
definitely
you'll-
appreciated.
You guys knew Kyle obviously, and then met some
Yeah.
other people, but
Kyle's a
but
great
like
friend.
I started doing it again. The first time I did comedy, there was a comedy contest at Askew,
Yep.
and Brad Pierce was hosting it. I didn't know him at the time. Tyler Hittner won.
Yeah.
And I didn't know him at the time. I went up, I did 7 minutes, and I fucking bombed. This was my first time
Yeah.
doing comedy in like 25 years.
Oh, so this is after you came back.
After I came back, I told like an amusing story, but it wasn't jokes, it wasn't punchlines, and I totally shit the bed. And I had a bunch of people there. So at that point, I was like, you better get better or you should fucking stop because this is embarrassing. So that was the first time out. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Lauren Sims or not, but so I had met Lauren early on at a show at the Pump House. So she called me up and she said, there's an open mic at this place called the Kingsbury Club in Kingston, Mass. Do you want to go? Picked her up and I went, and it was a small number of people. It was like a dozen people,
Yeah.
including the comics. But that's where I met Barry Wilson. That's where I met my buddy Andrew Boyle, who's a really good joke writer.
Yeah.
My friend Greg Thomas, who puts on shows.
Yeah.
So I met a ton of people who ended up being like my core base of friends.
Yeah.
And then we would go every week and see each other, and it was a great supportive environment.
Yeah.
So, and I know that's not the case for everyone, but it sounds like it was like that for you guys too.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we hear from some folks that they've had negative experiences, and they felt like the only way to move forward is to push through.
Yeah.
Which they did, and I commend them for that, and I'm glad they're still around. But for us, it's been nothing but positivity
Yeah.
and reassurance, and even though you bombed, sometimes you still get the fist bump, and
Yeah.
that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
To me, to us, that's what we're seeking at the end of the day. Is just positivity in the community.
Yep.
I think people can sense though if you have a good attitude about it.
Yeah.
So like Matt went up on that first show, and we all know what that's like. You got to like white knuckle your way through it sometimes.
Tell me about
You
it.
get through your set, and for me, even though I'm an older person, like I've only been doing it for a few years, I watch everyone's set, and I'm like, man, I hope you fucking kill. Like I want to see you do well.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because
Absolutely.
we all know what it's like to go up. And we were talking before about the roller coaster. It's like
Oh, yeah.
sometimes you do it and you feel like a hero, and then 2 weeks later you're like, I should really stop doing this.
You're
You know
like,
what I
"Oh,
mean?
am I
So
doing
it's
that right?" Yeah.
If you have that supportive group around you, they're going to be like, dude, just keep going. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So, but it is trying at times.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the gym, I mean, for me, obviously, I don't go to the gym, as you can see. But when I did go to the gym,
Dude, you
I had.
just dropped 3 pounds recently.
Yeah,
You're
right.
killing
Your
it.
wife's proud of you.
But when I did go to the gym, when I was doing jujitsu, like we're talking about off screen, it was good to have like a buddy.
Yeah.
The buddy system is so key in
Yeah.
comedy, I think, and yeah,
The thing is this though, you have to find friends who are going to be honest with you. So like I've been trying to trot out some new jokes. And my other really, really good friend in comedy is Stephanie White, who's a very funny comic.
God, Stephanie White, was she the one that we saw at the showcase?
Yeah, she does the joke about.
Is she the one with the sandwich and the bra?
No,
Oh,
There's
he's
a
not-
joke about the Crocs.
Yeah.
That's the
Yes.
closing
No,
joke.
Okay.
So you Stephanie White Rob is she did Pump House with
Yes.
me, and she did she did you were there, and I right at the Pump House because you're
Yeah.
thinking of the other one with glasses
Yeah,
that
yeah,
pulled
yeah.
the shirt out of her shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
That's Stephanie Peters.
Okay.
That's
Stephanie
Peters, yeah.
White she does the Crocs joke. I don't want to give over.
She was in the
Oh my God! Yes, I remember her,
Yeah.
dude. I went after the show and I talked to I talked to her and another comedian about Crocs. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, now I
Stephanie's
remember. Okay,
awesome.
sorry,
She's
sidetracked a little
amazing.
bit there for a minute, but now I know who you're talking
But
about.
so
All
she's
right, go
a
for it.
regular person that I'll
Yeah.
talk with, and I'll go,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about these 3 things for this joke, and she'll go, man, the third one, you just have to have a thick skin. She's
Yep.
like, I'm not that crazy about it. And I do the same thing with her, with Barry, Andrew, like any of my comedy friends. But you have to be honest with each other. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And you also have to learn, as you know, your feelings can't get hurt.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like all of us go off stage sometimes and we're like, but
Yeah,
then, you know what I mean?
hurts.
You just have to kind of shrug it off, and
Yep.
and if there's anything to learn from it, you got to learn from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was an
agree with
old.
that.
I don't know if you guys remember it was before your time, but there's still a lot of clips of it flying around. The old Dean Martin roasts. It was kind of like the roast that you see nowadays.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they, you know, he would host it. There'd be one person they were roasting, and then the person who was getting roasted got to go up at the end and say speak last. So that Johnny Carson, when he was being roasted, he got to go up and speak last at the end. And what he said always makes me laugh, but it makes me think like when you have a bad show. He got up and the first thing he said was, "I will remember this night for as long as it takes me to get to my car." and you know what I mean? Like, so sometimes if you have a bad show,
I like that.
and you know that you did your best and your material's decent, you kind of have to just shrug it off and move on.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You can't beat yourself up for too long.
Yeah.
It'll humble you for sure.
I definitely shrug it off a lot. And I had to. Like, me and Matt, we come from old workplaces and just a family unit who, for lack of a better term, bust balls.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
and we have a thick skin. But like you said, you got to shed that. And I think there's been like 1 or 2 times I've actually legitimately kicked rocks like on the way out of a show, and I just like felt so bad, you know. But like once you get that skin, you're like, all right,
Yeah.
it's all good. It's just open mic. We're good. Let's get it.
I remember I did one of John's shows. It was a lunchtime show, and a lady collapsed in the back of the room.
Oh my God.
And the show was going on, and so they brought in like a stretcher, and they had to lower it, and like people are up there trying to tell jokes.
Oh,
and
no.
half the audience is like turned around, looking the other way, and it's just like
That's
you just got to keep going. Like there's really nothing to do.
The show must go on.
Let's go on.
Grandma died, but hey, the
body ain't cold
this
yet.
joke's gonna land right now.
They're like, "How was your set?" It's like the thing about my son's killed, and the lady died. It's,
Yeah,
it was,
I got heckled by a fucking by someone who died.
She didn't.
The firefighter was laughing like what the shit.
So everyone after the show was like, "Oh, you guys killed!" Like that was the real joke,
my
but-
God.
Well, hopefully she's okay.
Well, like you were talking earlier, like there could be like people playing pool, there could be people clanking glasses.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the only dream you have is that people are going to listen to you. Like to
Yeah.
me, that's my thing. It's like I don't mind doing any kind of show if people are going to listen at least. But
Yeah.
if it's in a really distracting environment, and the TVs are on, and there's a football game on, it's tough for anybody, no matter how good you are.
I've only done it once. We were talking off screen about a comedy show that me and Matt did. It was very intimate. It was in a record shop. That's almost advocating for really small, intimate shows.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Like, have you ever been at like small, intimate shows where you?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So how many, what did you guys set up for that show? How many seats were there?
So we were supposed to have 20, and I counted. We had 32 to 35
awesome.
people.
Yeah,
That's
we were
awesome.
able to fit them comfortably.
Yeah, people were in the back standing.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
It was a great turnout.
So
I
intimate.
mean, I did a show once, went all the way up to Boston, and it was in a Mexican restaurant, and there were 8 people there. And I'm not even going to say who was on it, but there were 2 comics who were headliners in New England who were on it with me. And it was 8 people who were all maybe in their 20s. And we got there, and so we just started walking around kind of joking with them. I mean, we could have jumped in a friggin' minivan, the 11 of us, and kind of... And we said to them, just push your tables up close. It was just like 3 tables. Yeah. They were the most fun group of people, and we did a show for 8 people, and we had a blast. So,
That's
but I've
awesome,
done shows
man.
where there are 200 people, and you're struggling. So it's like the crowd size doesn't dictate it.
I guess it
it's
doesn't.
impossible to know what's going to dictate it. You know what I mean? People just want to, if they want to have a good time, you just got to roll with it. You know?
Yep.
And that's that. Everyone came to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that sounds,
they did.
Kudos to you guys because I advocate for people putting on their own shows because the only thing, like I said to Matt, like put the show together and then make sure they're going to want to come back. So you just have to be careful that it's not just an open mic. You know what I mean? Like, so you guys got Mike Murray on the upcoming show.
We do.
And Mike is
show,
one of the funniest comics around.
I have
And
not
he's
met or
hilarious.
seen Mike yet,
Oh
so
my
I'm
God,
so excited.
Rob, he is funny.
so funny.
Oh,
He's
my
going.
I can't
he's
wait.
a super
I
professional.
literally can't wait. Like, I don't want anyone to spoil anything. I haven't looked
I
him
won't
up.
say anything,
Nothing.
give any jokes away, but he has a joke. I'm
a
laugh
fan of
so hard.
comedy. I can't wait to see that
same
after
way,
my own
same
show.
way.
You know.
Well, he plays on, you'll have to see it, but he plays on certain aspects of his life that I found out that are very funny. And it's just it was hilarious. I loved it. I saw him at the Pump House, and he was very nice enough to get on our show at Lang's Bowlarama on October 2nd.
Thank you.
So I'm really looking forward to that, and I look up to him for the fact that he does a lot with Funny for Funds and stuff like that. So it's gonna be a good time. Everyone's gonna love it. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, I was saying to Matt, so like Bill Simus, who owns Funny for Funds now, he founded it with Mike. I've seen him perform, I don't know, in the last 2 years, 20 times, 30 times, like, and I will sit through his set from beginning to end every single time because I just to watch someone who's really good at something.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you were doing jiu-jitsu, if you saw someone who was awesome at it, you could sit there and you're like, it's almost like a magic trick. You're like, how the hell did he get that guillotine?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I watched Bill. I was on a show
so
with him
funny.
last Saturday. It was for the Greater Holyoke Y. It was at an Elks Club in Holyoke. And this guy, he was working as hard as if he was filming his Netflix special.
Yeah.
I
You know
love
what
that,
I mean?
man.
And so it's like you watch him, and he's so engaged, and he's selling it, and it's and you have to get off on people laughing. You know what I mean? That has to be like
Absolutely.
the feedback. Because the week before, we did this show at the Crown Plaza. It was like Bill masterminded this thing with his wife, 650 people
That's
under
crazy.
a tent.
I saw that.
So-
That was
That's
fucking
great.
And
I
so
love
amazing.
he worked as hard that night as he did in front of 120 people in Holyoke.
I
for the
respect
Y.
that.
That's just
So that's
beautiful.
I watch guys
Yeah.
like that, and I'm like, that's a pro.
Yes.
Like, that's someone to
Absolutely.
watch. You can't shit on the audience. You can't say, "Oh, this stinks." There's 15 people here. Like,
Yeah.
those 15 people showed up. You know what I mean?
It's funny you
So
point that out.
You gotta give them something. You know?
Shitting on the audience. I don't. No one gave me this opinion. It just kind of came to me.
Yeah.
I just don't like it when people get frustrated with the audience. Like comics, I'm sorry, not people, but comics
Yeah.
get frustrated with the audience and they. Oh, fuck you guys, that's funny. Or,
Yeah.
what are you, a bunch of retards? Like,
Yeah.
me and my wife, first of all, before I say this, I'd never watched Kill Tony, like, ever.
Yeah.
But we watched the Kill Tony Netflix special. It was like 3 hours long, 2 hours long. And there was a couple comedians down there. And as soon as they started, like, just basically chastising the audience because they were too stupid not to get their joke, I was just so turned off.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
super unfunny.
Is
I mean,
attacking the audience?
The crowd is your audience is your. That's making your like if the crowd likes you, then that's
Yeah.
gonna be your show.
That's something I found out. Like I clutched my pearls when I heard that. Like,
clutched his pearls.
I didn't know that about myself. I was like, ugh. I was so disdained that someone would basically blame the crowd for not laughing. Like, no, bro, just bring better jokes. Dude.
Yeah, well, I think
You know-
former guest on the pod, Aaron Lidecker, just wrote about this on social, where he was like talking about comics saying that to the audience, and it's like
I hate
there's-
that
I've
so
seen that a
fucking
number
much.
of times where like you're chastising the audience, and I'm like, your joke should be better. You know?
Yeah.
To me, there's like a world of difference. Like, so I've been able to spend a lot of time with Brad Pierce, who is genuinely one of the funniest comics around, and he's like
great.
50-50 crowd work, and he'll do crowd work, and he's picking on people, but not in a mean way, and
Good faith picking. I like it.
he's like the king of crowd work. Like he's so
he's
good.
excellent. He's very
He's
very
so
funny.
funny.
There's an art to that, right? Because
There's an art to it.
if you're crowd working and you're doing that, everyone needs to feel like it. Like I said, it's good faith. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
making fun of you
mean-spirited.
with you. I'm not attacking you.
Well, I'm gonna. So this
you
is
know.
a great lesson in hanging around with more experienced comics. So when Brad started doing like a lot of crowd work, it was either Bill or Mike. I can't remember who said to him, "You have to make fun of yourself. Go
Yeah.
up there and say, Jesus, I'm a karaoke." I have a karaoke business,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
people like, that's what I did. My wife's like super successful.
Yeah.
And they said, if you shit on yourself, then when you do the crowd work, no one's going to get offended that you're
Yeah.
making fun of them
Yeah.
because you're knocking
True.
yourself down a peg. And throughout his set, and I've had the opportunity to see him a bunch of times. I mean, he's great to go see because it's never the same show. 'Cause,
Yeah.
he's talking to people in the audience. And I think sometimes crowd work's kind of lazy. But in his case, he's so goddamn good at it. It's like watching someone who's just like top notch at something. So that's
I know.
awesome.
If you're telling me that you see a crowd work comedian
Yeah.
and it's something different every time, that's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Because a lot of crowd work guys, they seem
They have
to,
like a
they're not.
script or
I don't want to say
something.
they're repetitive.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, that got so funny. Like, but holy shit.
No, with Brad,
Yeah.
like, so I went to a show a few weeks ago at the District Center for the Arts in Taunton, and I joke with Brad because he did the show and it was a big crowd and everything else, and then the place closed down for good like 2 weeks later.
God.
So I was like, Brad, you put this place right out of business.
That's funny.
But it had a great, the lineup was great. Grandma Martha was on it, Tyler, Steph, and Barry. So it
I'll
was
tell you
like,
right now, that sounds like a great lineup.
it was an awesome,
Grandma
and so my
Martha
friend Mike
shouts.
Lapino hosted it. But Brad's on stage, and he's doing crowd work, and the set was nice. It was like a real stage with curtains and stuff. But in between the two curtains, there was an air conditioner,
Yeah, I
and
saw
he
that on
noticed that. He
Facebook.
put it up online under Brad
it's on
Pierce comedian.
Facebook.
But he starts talking about the air conditioner, and he's like, "Guys, I've seen Chappelle, I've seen all these other comedians. I have never seen a air conditioner." So he did like 5 minutes about the air conditioner. And he's like, I think the
He's
spotlight
clever.
is more on the air conditioner than the comic.
yeah.
And then he
Holy
said to some
shit.
guy in the audience who was older, he's like, "Sir, when you saw Bob Hope during World War One, did he have an air conditioner?" And he just off the top of his head, so that was not planned.
Yeah, he's
That's
so
awesome.
I have so much admiration for people that can do that stuff. Because
too.
That's so
Holy
close on the
shit.
cusp. He didn't. That wasn't even part. He didn't probably didn't even think I'm gonna go make fun of the air
No, he
conditioner.
just
but
turned
he did it
around
right
and
there.
saw it. Yeah.
That's clever.
I love
That's
that
really
so
good.
much.
And you know, the rest of us are like this. We're going like, all right, joke about baseball, and then I'm going to do the joke about my mother-in-law, and then like in
Yeah,
our
yeah.
head, we're like, what's coming next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where someone like that is like very free flowing, and
Dude.
but that's all
that.
experience,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
obviously it's talent too.
Yeah. No, he's very, very talented.
That's not easy to do.
Yeah, dude. Like I said before, probably on the show before, but we rented him for my law firm. We did the comedy bus. So it's him, and I'm sorry I forgot the other guy's name. He was blonde, and he did it. He was very funny. If I could remember his name, I'd shout him out. But it was him and that other guy. Very, very funny. But Brad was he was making fun of people like areas and stuff. We're driving through Providence.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, let's get your boss on," because my boss didn't want to, like, he didn't go to it was his thing. Like, he puts his money into these events so we can do it as a firm to like have fun outside of work hours. And he got my boss on the phone, FaceTimed him, and roasted him on FaceTime. And my boss tried firing back, and Brad
that
just
so
knocked
much.
him down like 2 pegs. And like
my God.
he
You're
had
not
him
gonna win.
stuttering.
I'm
He's
sorry.
like, "Are you?" Because my boss was like, "Oh, you got this cast on your arm. I guarantee you hurt yourself from probably doing something inappropriate." He's like, "Are you insinuating that I hurt myself by jerking off?" Like he's got that Boston accent.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, "Your hair's so long. I thought you were my fucking aunt." And dude, everyone just laughing, dude. It was so funny. And I
So
was
I've
like,
had an
the greatest
opportunity
ones
the
ever.
last couple weeks to do the comedy bus
Yeah.
on Saturday, which was, normally I think if it's like sold out, they'll have like 2 headliners on it, So,
Yeah.
but if there's a smaller crowd, because Brad's thing is like, do they really want to just see him for 2 hours,
Yeah.
So I go on, I was like helping check people in, then I would do like 5 or 7 minutes, then Brad would do it, and then in the second part of it, after you stopped at a restaurant, I'd do another 5 or 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I got to tell you that last Saturday doing that was one of the most fun times I've ever had
Yeah.
doing stand-up. There were like, I think maybe 17, 18 people on it. There were 5 women who were in their mid-60s, and then the
can't
rest
go
of them
anywhere.
were young people. And it was just the most fun group. Like, people are day drinking, the
Yeah.
windows are open, Brad's driving around.
Hell
It's
yeah.
like talking
So
to people on
awesome,
the
dude.
street.
Yeah.
So
I want to do that so bad.
Rob, we
like
should-
not
it's super-
perform. I want to be a freaking audience
you
member.
would have a lot
I
of
just
fun,
go
you
and
know?
laugh. I watch him, and it's like,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you, when you go see better comics, you just can learn from them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, even if they're not, like, Brad does crowd work, I don't do any of that. But I watch him, and I'm like, all right, he's super engaged. You know what I mean? If he's telling a joke for the 10th time, he's saying it like it's the first time. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's super. One thing about Brad, like, he does crowd work, but the other day I was listening to his jokes. He edits them down to the bare bones. There's not like a ton of fat. So like when I go through my jokes, like I was telling him, my opening joke, it does well. It gets like 2 laughs, but it was like 45 seconds. I recently cut it down, so now it's like 30 seconds. So I get to the laughs way faster, and you really don't lose anything. So when you
That's
start
awesome.
analyzing your jokes, you're like,
Yeah.
do I need this? Do they need to know that I was driving a Ford Maverick? Does it matter?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the
So,
next step for us, I think.
Yeah, the
with
editing
writing,
part
so.
is super important.
Yeah. Well, I was saying off camera, there's a lot that goes to it than just writing it down
So
and then
much,
saying
right?
it.
Yeah.
I'm learning from talking to you, Brett, and then other comedians. Our friend Eddie Marin is very into taking this joke and like working it down to a science, and I appreciate that. That's definitely
Yeah.
something I need to work on. But it's definitely there's more to it than just go up, say it, and if it don't hit, then just throw it out. Like there's a lot. Dude, comedy
Right.
takes a lot of time and a lot of dedication. If you want it to be
That's something
really,
that humbles the fuck out of you when you,
Yeah.
when you start. It's not all ha 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 penis.
I heard, like, I don't know if it was Bill Burr, but someone was saying that you have to be like obsessed about it.
Yeah.
So like walking around all day, like I've always got my phone on me. I'm like,
Yep.
just
Absolutely.
shoot a night. Like
Yep.
I was walking my dog this morning. I'm like, You ever see these people that are on Facebook and they're like, so far this year I've read like 122 books.
Yeah, the book people.
And I was like, I haven't read a book in like 15 years. So I just wrote that down as an idea to revisit at some point.
Yep.
Because firstly, it would be super relatable because everyone sees those people. And I'm like, who the hell's reading 100 books a year? But so yeah, just I'm always jotting down ideas, just even if it's like a phrase or just like a thought on something, and hopefully can revisit it at some point. So yeah, you do have to be kind of obsessed by it, but
yeah, and that's definitely something. That's something you have to do. Like always, just write it down, and that's what I do. I always write down, even if it's this littlest thing. Like I wrote down. Like I said, trying to work on my Walmart stuff, and I wrote down like, "Oh, you having fun yet?" No, Pam. I just put that down. I put in my notebook for later because I don't want to lose it. And I hope, and you never know. Maybe I'll go back to it one day. Maybe I won't. But it's good to have it.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you what. So I've seen you perform. I haven't seen you perform before, but I don't do a lot of I don't do anything really in the way of act outs, and I know that you're not really like. I've seen you before. You're just kind of up there.
Yeah. I mean, I have a joke where I have to introduce like an insurance agent.
Yeah.
To go, hello, I'm the insurance agent. Or
you do the mezuzah rolling down the.
Or I say, all right, do one of these, or that's as much as I get to acting out, or maybe like just making sound effects. Like I have a joke where like my house turns into a James Bond movie, so things are going. Zzz, zzz, that's about it. Like not crazy, but
I'll tell you though, it's if you can just add like so. I was doing a joke about. I did a joke about growing up in Pawtucket. We call everyone kid.
What's up, kid?
I
think I've heard you tell that joke before.
Yeah, so I was out with my sons, and I was like, "See that kid over there?" And my son was like, "Oh, that wobbly old guy leaning on a walker." The joke keeps going on where it turns out it was someone that beat me up when I was a kid. And I go over to him to confront him, and I was doing this thing about. So I go over and confront him, and then I added that I went over and I gave his walker a hip check. And I just do like a hip check move, but it got a little extra laugh. And then, so Barry and I were talking about this, and he was doing a joke about, something about a woman getting excited or something. He was saying like, it's like a woman when she's like sitting on the washing machine or something. But he did he did a very small act out, and it got an extra laugh. So it's like, even if it's not really in your wheelhouse, like it's not super in my comfort zone. I'm not the most animated person.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
It helps, you know?
I think it helps. It's not so much the act outs, but being a little bit more instead of just this or like me, I was doing one of these like, whatever. It helped, I think.
Yeah, but I think it engages. It makes the crowd
animated,
engaged.
I'll call it.
Not
not an act out, but more animated.
And
maybe.
the thing is this, like the tendency, I think emotionally, is if you're doing that stuff and it's not working, to just be like, I'm just going to blast through this set. I'm just going to start talking faster. I'm not getting laughed. But you have to like, it's such a lesson in just toughing it out. You have to just keep going. And one thing I've learned more so lately is I've always like, the first thing I say to myself when I'm going on stage, I'm always like, slow down. Whatever you're gonna say,
I agree.
Slow down. Take a break in the middle of a sentence, like a beat, and then get back into it because it'll get people's attention. But this again, watch like comics that you really like and just analyze even just their style. Like how are they keeping the audience's attention? You know?
Slow it down. I like that a lot. And being able to speak in silence, guys.
Yeah.
If you're telling jokes and no one's laughing and pins dropping at open mic, obviously I don't think you're gonna bomb that bad at shows. Come on. But, if I can get laughs at shows, anybody can.
Yeah.
But if you're open mic and you're saying that, just keep going. Just keep going.
I think
it's nothing else you can really do.
It's such a good masterclass.
You know what you should do if you're bombing like that? You should be like, "You guys suck. These are great."
Yeah. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
The best. Well, Rob, don't you have a little prop that you use sometimes?
I mean, some people laugh at that. I mean, whatever. Yeah. So I only did this twice, but yes, I do have a little prop, and it was my little, comfort blanket. Yeah. When people didn't laugh, I would just. And I made it a point to pretend I didn't even have what I had as a prop. I'd be like, hey, this is the joke, ABC. And then it'd be like this. But then out of my pocket, I'd pull out a laugh machine. And then I go, so anyways.
How did that go?
People laughed the fuck out of that.
It worked.
I was like, thank God it saved me a little bit.
Field thing. But it's weird. Like everything's an experiment. So I was doing a joke about having a dog. And I was telling him the joke that did really well was, I would say that I've been taking her to the dog park and there's a lot of lonely older women at the dog park. And I said, I said, if you don't think so, let me tell you this. The dog park is the only place on the planet where you can try to pick someone up while you're holding a bag of shit. And then there's more to it. But I was doing this show. I was telling him it was one of those shows where the audience was so good where you get deluded to think something's going to work. So the first time I ever did it, I said, I'm getting older, and sometimes, you get older, you have to go to the bathroom more frequently, but you're in the middle of your set. What are you going to do? And I said, I talk to my dog now. My dog said, just do what you do with me. So I had like a vest on with a pocket, so I pulled out it was like a empty doggy bag, like to pick up the poop. And then it got at this one show, it got a laugh, and then I reached in again, I said, I had a long set last night, and I pulled out, and it was a doggy bag, but I had put some stuff in it, so it looked like it was shit. So it got a huge laugh. So then I did it again, and it got fucking nothing.
Oh,
neither of them. The empty bag or the full bag, and then you feel like a clown. You're like, you got that. And I did use
Put that over my fucking head, I guess.
I did use the full bag when I did the bag of shit line, which always gets a laugh, and I held it up and I was kind of twirling it. But when I did it the first time in front of this audience, and it was like we were talking about before, like Fool's Gold, where you're like, oh, this bit's so good.
Yeah.
And the first time I did it, it did awesome, and then it just absolutely tanked like 3 times, and I'm like, all right, I'm getting rid of this.
So that's such a good fucking thing to bring up now that we're talking about it. Okay, Fool's Gold. You're mining, you hit a bunch of Fool's Gold. When do you know you fucking hit the real gold?
And what is
it a 3 and done? All right, so a lot of people have this philosophy, right?
Yeah.
I got to tell it 3 times, and then if it doesn't hit, it's gone. Or, it doesn't work 2 times, but then it works. Whatever. What do you think hitting gold is in comedy?
Well, it's funny because, like we were saying earlier, you can't blame the audience.
Yeah.
Like, your job is to make them laugh.
And
if they don't laugh, and it happens with 3 different audiences in a row. So I was saying, I had that show at the Crown Plaza. I had written a new bit about joining a ladies' boot camp gym, and there were 3 tables of women from the gym there. There were 30 of them, and I had 70 people there, and there were 650 people. So I told the bit. It was 3 minutes long, and all of it did great. I knew that night, I'm like, it's not that good. I said, there's parts of it that only work because I said, I joined a ladies' boot camp. They all started screaming, so it was like, I knew there was some built-in stuff that wasn't real. So I did it. I've done it 2 other times, and half of it works. Like a minute and a half of it got laughs, and it was the same minute and a half. So now I'm going to take the other stuff out, and I'm going to start with that as the foundation and build from it. So if you do something over and over again, like I have that opening joke about being an empty nester and about my son getting in trouble. That has almost always uniformly worked. And then I have a closing thing where I have these like pictures of the clothes I used to wear as a kid because my mom used to make my clothes for me. So I have like the crocheted sweater vest, the picture where I look like Austin Powers. Like
yes, I remember this from Jerry Longo's.
Yeah,
actually.
And those almost always uniformly work. So I know up top I have 3 minutes, and then at the end I have 4.5 minutes. It's the middle part where you're like, I said to someone the other day, I'm like, it's almost like if you were building a baseball team and you had 3 really good players. If you can get rid of like the other 6 players and just start to slowly replace them with better players, then you'll have like a good team. And that's how I look. Like my other stuff does fine, but I know like I've got 7.5 minutes that works well. So if I'm doing 15, I got to get stuff in the middle that does decent. But guys like us, it's just a work in progress. You got to keep building the set.
Yep.
You're a fantasy football manager. I like that.
That's what it's like.
I'm going there right now. I'm fucking losing. I suck, dude. But it's like, you always got to... that's a good analogy.
I started doing some jokes about the Real Housewives of Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And some audiences it did really well, and then some it didn't.
I haven't seen that yet. Is it out yet?
No, it's not out yet. But it's easy just to make fun
I can only imagine.
And so I did a show in Mass recently, and I have to change it because I can't say Cranston or Pawtucket. You have to be more generic. So you just got to keep trying new stuff.
That's a good takeaway. I mean, so that's a good response. But in the back of my head, I also hear as well, you got to be dynamic with your pickaxe.
Yeah.
Not all crowds are going to like the same thing. No. So yeah. Well, that's great points.
What about the term comedy is subjective? You believe that's true, you guys?
Subjective, huh?
Yeah.
Just because something's not funny to this guy,
there's nothing objectively funny.
You know what I mean?
Or is that a bad statement? Farts are objectively funny, I guess.
Well, everybody laughs at farts, but I feel like a fart joke is kind of cheap. I'm not gonna. I did.
Well, come on.
Jokes.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about objective laughs, versus subjective, right?
Yeah.
What, is there anything objectively funny? That's a good point. And while you're at it, why don't we just ask you, is there anything objectively true about beauty or about politics? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
But I always say to everyone, I'm like, it's such a different thing than any other art form, because like if you're a musician
Yeah.
and you go and you play your song, even if you suck, you're gonna get applause. Where you're on stage and like if you're not getting that immediate feedback, like
Yeah.
your brain is doing this weird thing where you're
Yeah.
like, oh fuck. And you're still talking, you're still
Yeah.
telling your joke,
Yeah.
and there's like a separate conversation going on back here.
Oh my God.
So I mean, I think you can say that the people that we know who are really good at comedy, they never fail to get laughs. You know,
Yeah.
people that are headliners.
Yeah,
Like
they'll
you'll see
squeeze one
Mike
out.
Murray. I'll bet you $1,000 right now he's going to get laughs through his whole set because he's,
Oh, yeah.
he's
Straight
that
up.
good.
Yeah.
So, but for us, I think it's like I did a show in Westerly at the United Theater on Friday night, and it was, you know, there's like you said, it was a younger crowd at the record store or whatever.
It was, yeah.
This was my kind of crowd because it was an older crowd, and I'm older, so it was like
Yeah.
you know about having kids and
Yep.
getting
Yep.
older. So
Relatable
it was
stuff.
like it was my demographic. You know what I mean?
So if you walked out onto the stage and you saw a bunch of young kids, would you change your set, or would you try to keep the same set but kind of tailor
I'm
it
not
to
good
them?
enough to
What do you
change my
think?
set.
I know. I mean, I'm not trying to,
I'm
it's a
just
genuine
I'm just
question.
being-
Yeah.
No, that's a genuine answer though. I don't have enough.
Just curious.
Yeah, enough stuff where I think like as long as you're relatable. So the stuff about my son getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so if someone's at the
That
show
would
the show-
definitely work with the younger crowd. Just saying, that's
Well,
hilarious.
in Westerly, there were three
Yeah.
young guys in the front, and there were if there were maybe 70 people there, like 15 of them were probably under 25. And then there were a lot of kind
Okay.
of gray hairs and stuff. And that is my demographic. I do better with older audiences because, you know,
Yeah.
maybe because I'm older, I guess.
Nah,
But,
I don't think that's true.
that's
I
a
think
big
it's
piece of
just,
it. But
you know,
that's just like, that's just my target audience, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think as me and Rob are going along with our comedy career, like me personally, I feel like we're both kind of finding a way. Like, what would our target audience be? You know what
that I
mean?
have. I haven't asked myself that question. That's how infant I am in
Yeah.
comedy.
I never asked myself it, but I just started to realize.
You just
it.
found
Yeah,
out.
it's something
Okay,
you-
yeah,
yeah,
that's a good
realize,
point too.
yeah.
Could be like the Matt Rife for the senior set, you know?
Yeah, the Matt
Over-
Rife
over
for the senior
65,
community.
I like that.
Community, yeah.
Let me tell you though, we were on the bus the other day, and the women, they were all like 64, 65 years old, but they were like so much fun.
Yeah.
So
My
on the
God,
bus,
I'd imagine they would be.
on the brunch bus, you stop twice. You
Yeah.
can bring your own booze on, and then you stop at a restaurant. You get a brunch item and a drink.
Sure.
Go back out, and then another one. And when we stopped at the restaurant, I sat and talked to them, and they were like so much fun. So
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
just think it's like you have to. Firstly, you got to. You know, it's like very humbling to do comedy because you can feel great, like you did after the record store show.
Oh yeah.
Or you can feel like you got kicked in the nuts and you should never do this again. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So, but I will say one thing is like, no one doing comedy in Rhode Island should have an attitude about being a comedian.
No.
Because like, if you were that good, you'd be in LA. You know?
Yeah,
you'd be
right.
in New York City. So
There's something to say about comics, like any comic, is you get kicked in, like you say, you kick in the balls so many times, and
Yeah.
you fail so many times, and you have that one win, and you just come back. It's the love of comedy, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
The
I
one
see
rub
It's
Rob
the
Jack-
love, baby.
Road.
I equate it to golf. I don't know if you golf or not, but
not
like
very infrequently. But,
you can hit
yeah.
bad shots, but then there's that one shot that just brings you
shot,
back, baby.
Yeah,
I call that game whack fuck.
yeah. Fuck, whack, the ball
fuck.
everywhere.
But yeah,
That
but
idea of the one win though is such a like. So I did a comedy contest where the first time I was back in 25 years and I bombed. I didn't get any laughs, and you know it's embarrassing. You know what I mean? And so it's like then you do a show and you get like a couple laughs. And like my first paid show was a John Perrotta show. It was a lunchtime show.
Yep.
And I had some friends there, and I got some laughs.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know, then you're like, okay, I can do this, you know. But the one thing I'll say is you have to have a desire to get better. So
Yeah,
if you go
absolutely.
out, like we were saying, like, you know, we know people, we see them, they do the same set all the time, and they don't really get laughs. And
Yeah.
I said to Matt, I'm like, try a new set. It can't go any worse than you not getting laughs with this old stuff.
Yeah.
you
I agree.
know? So, because the first instinct is, I can't believe I had the balls to get up and actually try this.
absolutely.
You're
Yep.
like you're like proud of yourself even if you sucked.
Yeah, and you should be.
You're like, you know, and you should be. But then after a little while, you're like, all right, am I getting laughs? And if not, can I get better? You know, and so that's big.
Yeah. So I guess that advice is just keep moving forward. Just keep
Yeah.
keep growing, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's why I always say
Yeah.
the editing is such a big part of it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So if you can pare down, if you have a 3-minute joke that can be cut down to 2:30 without cutting out laughs, then you can throw in
Do
a
it.
couple more jokes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's the other thing is, and I'm sure guys say this to you, people say this to guys all the time, like, people go, I could never do that. I don't know how
Yeah,
you
all
do
the
that.
time.
How do you-"
Dude.
So it's like, it's such a different.
What do you do? Stand up comedy? I could never do that, dude.
Yeah.
How do you do it? How do you get up in front of those people? I don't know.
Honestly,
Like, I can't do it either.
yeah,
I
right?
just
I-
love
yeah.
punishment.
Yeah. Honestly, my best
I'm
thing,
a sick fuck. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what to say.
No,
you
it's
know? It's just,
masochistic for sure.
you just gotta. Honestly, my best advice is that I just I just do it. I don't think about. Oh my god! I literally just go up there and just friggin' do my set, and I just focus on what I'm saying. Focus on a couple people in the crowd that are there engaged. And I don't know if it's weird, but it's how I talk. I make eye contact with people.
Yeah.
But I notice people. I'll talk like I'm talking to you or whatever. I try to incorporate with everybody, but in that moment, I'm not thinking of anything else but just telling my jokes, trying to make this person laugh. And then afterwards, I'm like, holy shit! You know what I mean? It's kind of like you go into like this. I kind of go into like a different mode.
Yeah.
So my doubt. Well, how do you do it? I just do it. Literally, that's all I do it, and I focus on what I'm in that moment I'm in right then and there, and I'm thinking about all right, toenail. As soon as I say toenail, I know marriage. It's a keyword, like little check marks, and I can really see it in my. I got my paper in my head, looking at me in my face, like mentally, and I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to do. And when I can hone in on a set, like a good 5 minutes, where you can just right off the top of your head, you don't have to look at your notes or anything like that. It just comes naturally. That's good. But you're always honing your craft.
Do you guys have a routine before you go up though? So Barry and I, our big joke is that like we're just like walking around outside in the parking lot, like talking to ourselves like a couple of psychos. Do you guys do that? Because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like to like
question.
chat with people beforehand. I just
yeah, I got a routine. Yeah, I think for me is I have an index card, and I go through. I have just like a list of jokes that I have that I know from memory. All right, which ones do I want to do? Where am I going? Okay, who's my audience? Okay, kind of we're talking about like going. Then I write on down on an index card, and then me and him actually walked around my neighborhood for like an hour and just rehearsed together.
Yeah.
Wait, why did you say that? Oh, okay. No, Matt, I don't think that sounds good. I think you should put this joke in front of that joke because it flows better.
So
Like,
rehearsing.
so I think rehearsing is the habit.
With the pre-ritual.
Drinking is a good one before a show. No, just kidding.
can you drink before a show?
What's that?
Can you drink before a show?
I do.
Yeah.
I've done shows not drinking. I've done shows drinking.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's always the same outcome.
Yeah.
You know.
You know what's funny though is like there's so many like truisms about comedy that are almost like it's like a mathematical equation where people like start with your best joke, finish with your second best joke.
Yeah.
And I think if you're good, you can screw around with that.
Yeah.
But I do think
I
that
like
there's
that.
some it's almost like as solid as 2 + 2 = 4. Like there's some stuff that people tell you to do that you should just do. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't
I
mess
like
with
the
it.
first and last. Actually, that's exactly the advice I gave Matt for the last show we had.
Yeah.
I said, Matt, I think this is your best joke, and I drew an arrow on his index card to the top. I said, this is your next best joke, and it wrapped. It's just like a comedy rap.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, you got your best and your
It's a comedy
best,
burrito.
and in the middle. Yeah, exactly. It's a comedy burrito.
Well, like so,
and just like Chipotle, you might not give the extra chicken.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, I
but
get what you're
it was
saying.
good.
People the shits.
Yeah.
I just like like they always say like you're trying to get your first laugh as quickly as possible. So
You
it
want to
shouldn't
hook them
be-
in, right?
Would you agree with that then,
45 seconds.
Brett?
Absolutely.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like my opening joke was like 45 seconds and I cut it down to like 30, 35. And you guys know, like you're literally counting seconds. You're like, I cut 10 seconds off. And I
Yeah.
got into it way faster. I had a whole sentence that was completely unnecessary. And it was about being an empty nester, about my kids moving out. And I cut that one sentence out. It made zero difference to the audience. But I got to the joke like way, way faster.
Yeah.
And then you just start to, because when you do your jokes, like if you went and taped them, you probably do them almost exactly word for word every time. At least the people I know do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're different, but
I don't know yet. Probably.
it's almost like I said. It's almost like when you tell a story about something. Like there was a time my house got broken into, and I've told the story 100 times. I've told it almost the exact same way every single time. So you just start to get into that routine.
Yeah.
But it's worth looking to go like, can I clean this up a little bit, make
Yeah.
it shorter? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I'll take that
Something a little
advice.
Different, you
Yeah.
know? I still do it. I'm going. I was struggling for so long on this joke, the opening joke after the empty nester about my son getting in trouble, and I tried a couple of different tags in there. I tried a couple little jokes, and at the show at the Crown Plaza, that big show, I added one joke in there that did really, really well. And I've done it 2 other times since, and it still did well. So I'm like, because I looked at that, it was like a 40-second setup, and the payoff's good. But I'm like, shit, that's a lot of territory.
It
to
is,
go
yeah, it's a lot of
without
real
anything,
estate.
you know what I mean?
Well, the age-old advice of that is the longer the setup, the bigger the payoff.
Punch,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, but I was telling Matt, I was watching there's this guy, Joe DeVito, who's a comic out of New York, and he's got a special on dry bar comedy. And I literally printed out the transcript from that set, and I started highlighting where all the laughs were. And he was just
smart.
adding little shit on where I'm like, like, you know, he was talking about dating in his 50s, and he was saying how he doesn't even take women out to eat anymore. He just takes them out for coffee.
Yeah.
And then she's like, one of the women said, like, "You're cheap," and he goes, "It's not just that." You know, like he would just add these little things in that were funny on their own. And
That's
I was
so
like,
smart.
But I was like,
We should
the
do that.
highlighter filled
Yeah.
up the page, and I'm
Yep.
like, how is he doing this?
That's
You know?
smart.
It's like being an amateur magician. You're like, how did he do that? You know, and so that's inspirational.
Magician,
to me 'cause
reveal
I'm
your
like,
secrets.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
but I'm telling you, you watch people that are way better than you or something. Like you
Yeah.
used to skateboard. I'm sure you watch people and you're like, Jesus, how's this guy doing?
All the
this, you
guys
know?
I skate with, even to this day, when I am
There you go,
skateboarding,
Bobby.
everyone's way better than me. But it makes you push a little harder because
Your brother just quit the podcast.
yeah, he
by
was
the
like,
way.
I'm out.
Jeez.
This guy quit. Yeah, he does it live
I just want to say that there's a lot of animosity between the Roy brothers.
all the
And
time.
now it's really playing out, and I'm sorry to have to be here. I feel like my parents are fighting.
Yeah,
My kids are
get
fighting.
back
I don't
in here
know,
right
yeah.
now. No, I'm just kidding. No, Rob. Thankfully, it's been good. Me and Rob do get along pretty well, and thankfully we can do this together. You know what
It's
I mean?
clear who has the stronger bladder, though.
Me for sure.
He's one of the weakest bladders.
Dude, he
I've
broke
ever
the
seen.
seal. He broke the seal already.
One of the weakest bladders in all of comedy.
Yeah,
I think that's how it should be billed.
Yeah, right. He could fucking just make a joke
Just
about
do
that.
like 90-second sets. And I got to go, guys.
Yeah, I gotta go pee now.
take a whiz
Just in the middle of the set. Hold on, I'll be right back.
So I give you credit. So you did the show at Doom Records.
Yeah.
And then you got the Lang's show coming up. How did that get set up?
So I'll start with the Doom show. I want to give a shout out to Tyler Leland for letting me get on that with him, because long story short, I had an idea. I thought it would be cool to do a mic there, to do a show, but Tyler was talking with the record store owner, Eric, first, because Eric was like, hey, they were talking about it, right? And then Eric's like, hey, I saw your friend Tyler, you guys do comedy together. He said he wants to do a show here. I'm like, that sounds like a good idea. I kind of wanted to approach him too, but I really know how to do it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, well, I'll get with Tyler and see if I can jump on it with him. Tyler had all the comedians booked already had an idea. Like, he already had an idea who we wanted. So I said, hey, man, can I get on? I would just like to give Rob Roy a spot, my brother, if it's possible, if you got more room. He's like, yeah, dude, sure. I was like, I'll help you promote it. I'll help you get, like, Rob on there. I'll just do all the logistics stuff with you, help you pay for, like, the chairs, all that jazz. So he got me on. We did it. It was one of the highlights of my career because everyone had a great time. Everyone's sets killed. It was totally my vibe. It was small and intimate. It was a record store. The guy had some good music playing beforehand, and we had comedians come out and support. Eddie Marin, Dirty Grandpa, friggin' Tony Max, John Imperator, Devin, all those guys. Jen, all those guys came out, and a lot of our friends and Tyler's friends. And this guy used to work with the Fat Bellies from 2012. I was working with this guy. He came out to see my show.
Fat Bellies, wow.
Yeah, Fat Bellies OG. Shout out to that place. That was my first job, and he came out to see me, and I did
haven't
my.
heard that name. Where is that? I'm trying to remember.
So
where
it was in East Greenwich, and they had one on Main Street.
Oh.
I worked at the one right before Goddard Park, so not on Main Street. You got to go past Main Street, take the left to go. Like in the neighborhood of Goddard Park. It was right there.
It's a restaurant.
It's
now,
right
though,
across
right?
the street from
Something
the.
else.
Well, now it's like a house, but it's across the street from the Trap. And I worked there.
We just
for 3
listed
years.
the 3 comedians with the weakest bladders in America. You were number 2.
Yeah, definitely one of them.
So-
He's gonna
Oh my god, that felt so good.
He's like a 102-year-old.
for real. Yeah, he's got
Well, your
the
parents
bladder.
drink
The handsome one's back. Sorry,
I hate
boys and
drinking a lot
girls.
when they named you Rob Roy.
Yeah. They're like, we love a good scotch.
Yeah.
So that was that wasn't really your promotion then.
So
right?
it was like a
just Tyler's?
co-promotion thing, you
Yeah.
know. Like Tyler was like, I helped him promote it. I got the, I helped share it, but a lot of it was, like I said, he had, hey, I want to get on, I want to do a show. And I was, let me help out with it. You know what I mean? I want to do a show too, but it was his comedians. But he ordered the chairs, he did the shirts. I helped him out, like sell the tickets. I made the Eventbrite link, all that stuff. So it was like a soft, like practice of what I really want to do. So shout out to you, Tyler, for letting me do that. But then the real thing, the real deal is Lang's Bowlarama, October 2nd at the Nelson, they call it. It's attached to Lang's. And me and Rob are producing it under the Roy Brothers Comedy, that I want to eventually book more shows, maybe do an open mic.
Yeah.
I actually have a banner I'm making, so when comedians do, so like, say Mike Murray's going to be doing his set, and then the other comics I have, Tony and Max will be hosting, they can do that, and I get pictures, and you see like Tony Max hosts, and I say Roy Brothers Comedy, so people are like, oh, Roy Brothers Comedy, let's check it out. You know what I mean? Promote it, and just, it's just nice being able to give other people an opportunity. I can give Tony Max a hosting spot, you know, and Rob will always have a spot. You know, it's good to know, and then we can just have fun with it. And if I already had comedians, like, it was funny. This last thing I'll say about it, so don't take up too much time, but I was at an open mic, and I was talking about it with a friend, and I said, "Oh yeah, we're doing this." And then, literally, true story, 3 comics were at the bar. They heard me. Hey, if you need a headliner, hey, you need a host. Hey man, I do shows too. If you guys never need anybody, right there off the bat, people want to do it, which is kind of cool. But my thing is, like, you give a comedian here's a show. It's like a dog. Like, here's want to go for a walk. They're like, you hear a show? You're booking for a show? Can I get on? You know what I mean? Like, trust me, I'm the same way. You got to show me? Can I get on? Everybody wants stage time.
What does that tell you though, man?
It's great, and I
for stage time.
Yeah, and I want to be that guy that can give people that
stage
opportunity.
Time. Exactly.
And if I can get people paid, great. If I can't, you know, it's a way to get people an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, so that's
I
it.
would just advise, like, make sure that everyone that's on the show, like, you've at least seen them once.
Yeah, exactly.
And
That's
then figure
it.
out, like,
absolutely.
a show at
It's
Lang's,
vetted.
You want to make sure that you're not up there talking about, like, the abortion Holocaust or something.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, again, that's why I'm an advocate of people, especially younger comics, doing clean comedy.
Yep.
Because it's like, if you go up and you're not doing well, but you're talking about making toast, then that's one thing. But if you're going up there and you're not doing well and you're talking about having sex with someone, it makes it even worse.
You gotta be able to pivot.
So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm old school.
Well, it's like-
but you'll get more opportunities. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think
these
so.
Funny for Fun shows. If you're up there, like, and I know Bill really well, and Bill's a great guy, but he's gone out to see some comics, and he said he'll tell them, like, I'm coming out to see you to see if you can do Funny for Funs. We do PG-13, we do some R shows, and he'll go and watch someone for 15 minutes, and it's filthy. Yeah. And he's like, I can't do anything with that.
If I knew Bill Simmons coming to see me for a show, I'm gonna do my clean stuff and everything else. You know what I mean? You gotta, but at the same time, it's like it's good to be versatile. If I'm saying that right, it's like me personally, I'm happy that I can do clean stuff. Thank you to John Parada and all this stuff, and you, Brett. You guys mentioned it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Do clean comedy, you always get booked, and it has helped me. I've dabbled in some dark humor and some more of like PG-13 radar stuff. But at the end of the day, I think clean comedy is my strong suit because I can deliver it better. I've been trying some dark humor stuff, but it's a hit or a miss. I don't want to be known as a guy that's saying messed up jokes either.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I mean?
need to know the definition of clean comedy, though. That if someone like Bill was gonna book me, then I'd ask him the genuine question: what's the expectations? Because I was booked at a so-called clean show, and I had prepared a clean set. I had to rearrange everything about my set, man. And then when the first few comments went up, it was anything but clean. So I was like, oh boy, this is not. So I pivoted. I was like, all right, I'm going back to my usual shit. So what do you think clean comedy is?
If it's like a G show, like, you're not going to swear. You know, you're not doing anything with sexual overtones.
I can do that.
If it's PG-13, we always talk to the organizers. So, like, would you guys mind if there's an F-bomb or two? If someone says the word shit.
So that's on the table.
Yeah, you talk to the people running it. But then if it's I just think there's, like, at a Funny for Fun show, you would never be making sexually graphic jokes. You just wouldn't, because it's someone. Firstly, they might not
You're
be.
doing a
Firstly, it's a
fundraiser.
fundraiser.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
might not be even comedy fans. They're just coming to support the show. I always think.
Such a good point. Yeah.
If I always feel like this, if you're really good, you can get away with almost anything.
Well, that's what I'm trying. So everyone knows, if you know me, that I'm very sexually explicit.
Yeah.
I don't have to swear. I've done a clean show where I didn't
Yeah.
swear and there was some sexual undertones. But right now, I'm actually working on a set for next year that's going to be more not that. So hopefully in the future,
Yeah,
I can be
but-
booked at shows like that.
Rob, you said you're sexually explicit, but honestly, you're really not that bad compared
You
to
don't think
some
so?
other comedy I've seen. And I think,
I don't go out of my.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm not offensive. I don't try to offend anybody.
Yeah, you're not political or anything like that, thankfully. I don't think that's always a good angle.
Yeah,
But
I don't know clean though. I swear.
You know what's funny though is like
I'm working on it because I want to be booked more.
I'm going to tell you something. It's funny if you're like, I'm a, PG comic. I try to think things through and everything else. I'm an older guy. I have kids, and that, like, that's the way I don't do crowd work. Like pretty much what my set's going to be at that night.
Yeah.
Like there might be a few deviations, but it's funny though. So me with that's the setup of what kind of comic I am. The comics I really admire are the ones who are risk takers. So, like, I was on that show at the United Theater in Westerly, and Mark McGuinn was on it. And I don't know if you've seen Mark
I've met
before.
him. Yeah, he's very funny.
And it was an older audience, so he was pretty clean. He had a few, like, kind of things that were a little dirty. But he takes chances. And for me, like, I admire that. I'm like, I wish I was that ballsy to do that. And I'm not going to be. That's just not me. But it's weird that if you're personally on stage kind of more conservative, the way your act is, you watch someone who's wilder and you're like, oh, I wish I could be like that. You know what I mean? So
It goes
funny.
both ways though.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
No question. Yeah. But it's funny. Sometimes you admire someone whose style is like quite different than yours, you know?
Yeah.
But I want to be flexible and versatile because I just want to make people laugh at the end of the day.
Yeah, no question about
You know?
it. I just
where
think
we're
like I had said to him earlier, we were talking about, and I said I still have the comedy Bible, and I look at it like at least once a week.
Yep.
The book?
The book,
Literally,
yeah.
I have that. That was one of the
we
first
got
books
it
I ever
too.
I'm
bought.
telling you, it's like
I actually did all exercises too. I have a bunch
the
of notebooks.
exercises,
yeah.
and also there's just some very basic stuff that I always go back. Like if I'm struggling with a joke, I go back and look at it. I'm like, all right, I've gotten off track with this. Like, how can I try to get it back on track? But you never know. It's not like you're an electrician and you're fixing something, and here's the book and how to fix it. Like you don't know if you fixed it until you get in
try
front of
it.
an audience, and
Yeah.
then you'll find out.
Yeah, definitely. And Barry Wilson, that was on here before, he had a good point. Like sometimes, like, well, I'll try new jokes at a show, and I'll throw maybe like a new joke in there with my regular set to see if it
That's a good
works.
point.
Because he expressed that he doesn't really do open mics because of like travel and all that stuff. It's kind of hard for him. I thought that was a kind of a good idea. So I've done that a couple times. Like I'll try a lot of mic jokes at open mics. Every now and then, like I'll try a different angle. I'll riff a little bit if I'm comfortable enough and I'm feeling the crowd. Like I'll do the toenail joke, but I also like talk about like imagine if she broke into your house and went to your fridge, you would think your dog with long toenails was clacking around your kitchen, but it's really just her looking for a midnight snack. I said that a couple times, and
I've
that
never even
got a
heard that
lot of
before.
laughs. And I've never tried that in open mic, so I think that's risk taking. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's
But
fun.
Barry's like a good example. So like Barry was one of the first people I met, and then this guy Andrew Boyle, who's mostly in Massachusetts. And if you sat down with them, Andrew, if you gave him a topic, you say, I'm working on this thing about whatever, within 10 minutes he would give you 25 jokes.
That's crazy.
Now, not all of them are killer. Some of them are really, really good. Some of them you won't use, but just starts dumping them out.
Yeah.
Barry
So-
is like really precise. So and if you gave him 15 minutes, he'll come back with one really good joke.
Yeah.
So it's like everyone's so different in how they try to, what their process
You guys are like a
is,
team
and,
of fucking
it's like-
engineers, dude.
I know. It's
comedy
like,
engineers.
Like, not kidding. Like, that's insane.
Yeah,
Well-
Barry, like it, and it comes out like well thought out and like as a complete joke.
Yeah. Well,
And I'm like, oh Jesus, I wish I could do
Yeah.
that. I wish I could do either of those things. I'm in like the middle where it's like,
well, you guys are definitely like I see, like I follow obviously you, Brad, on social media. You, Stephanie, and Brad, and all these guys. You guys are like, I noticed you guys are like in it. Like this is what you guys like. I'm sure you guys have day jobs, but like outside, you guys are like strictly comics. Like that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I see that in the work you guys do and all the stories you're telling me. And I'm trying to get to that point, but I also like I'm trying to balance everything. I'm trying to balance comedy. I'm trying to balance. I want to like make a movie or something like that. But I'm trying to like I got a skateboard. I'm trying to do. Somebody come fat and lazy. You know what I mean? Fat, believe it or not. You know what I mean? That'll never happen. But
This could
you know
all be yours right here.
But it's like I admire the fact that that could be mine. I'm getting there. I gained actually 30 pounds since me and my wife got married. I've gained. I was 140. I'm 172 now.
Look at Matt. That's how I looked in 2007 when I graduated.
Yeah, with your long hair and
dating
pants.
myself.
But no,
This is like one of those charts of like the progress of weight. It's
Yeah.
like we all have the same shirt on.
Right.
It's like we're just moving on down the line.
Yeah,
We get
right.
200 pounds.
husky.
How old are you weighing 140 pounds?
I was
162 myself. I was 6'4", 160. And I graduated. I was like 10.
So you were at 18
freshman at college.
Yeah.
So what? 19.
Yeah,
Dude,
when
I
18,
was-
I weighed like 140 pounds when my
But
first
you
kid.
stayed that.
What-
Good for you.
What, 4 years? So me and my wife been married for 4 years. Honestly, like it's probably a little bit.
That's what marriage
I'm
does to you. It
32
gets you
now,
fucking fat.
But she cooks a lot of good meals, and she cooks. We no. The thing is, like, we don't eat like when I was living on my own with my younger brother. We had a place together. It was a plate. It was a piece of chicken and a thing of rice. That's it. Maybe some
Bachelor
broccoli. But now I live with her. She's like, nah, fuck that. We're
There
gonna
you
have
go.
like we're gonna have a starter. We're gonna have an entree. We're gonna have a dessert. Not like that. It was more of like we'll have like a salad, and we'll have like an actual hearty meal. You know what I mean? Like meat, potatoes, corn, all this stuff. Not a fucking piece of seasoned chicken, salt and pepper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now I'm 32, and I eat more like an adult. Is what I'm trying to say.
Good for you, Matt.
You know,
did it.
I'm-
you cried.
Bro, I got a
Look
gut
at you.
going.
I
like-
had fucking Raising Cane's last night, 4 deep.
I had Chick-fil-A
with
today.
extra
Up
fries.
until last year, he was just eating chicken nuggets in the shape of a dinosaur. Now,
And drinking chocolate milk if you guys
now
get that reference.
He has peas once a week.
Yes.
So he's absolutely crushing.
Yep.
So I think that you personally should do more jokes about your look.
That's what I want to do. Yeah, I'm
Tall, thin, the
Yeah.
mustache, the hair. Like
Could you
that.
tell I don't have any regrets? And just
Yeah.
do this about your tattoos?
Right.
I'm just kidding.
But seriously, like you, that's like
Not really.
such like people like to see people make fun of them.
Yeah, I like the
You know what I mean?
self-deprecative
So,
humor.
Yeah, so I definitely think that you could go down that road because you have a distinctive look at least.
Yeah.
Where like you and
Yeah,
I
you look
just
like
I don't know if he's
Lurch.
calling me.
Couple of
I don't know if he's
dudes,
calling me look like an asshole. I'm ugly. No, I was kidding. No, I was kidding. But
You're like
No, it's like you definitely have a look though. You
yeah,
know
no,
what
I
mean?
do.
And
I
you
got a
gotta-
I love
distinct
it.
jaw. I got a
Yeah.
long head. And I got a
Yeah.
tall, skinny body. I kind of look like a fucking alien.
Dude.
Okay.
Adam's Family. Lurch.
Well, no,
It's the pedophile family.
Nah, I fucking I like my mustache. Only when I got the hair, because if I got the mustache, my hair's all over the place.
Yeah.
I gelled my hair for work today because we did a volunteering event. I don't want to look like a weirdo. I think the mustache and the hair looks good. And when I'm wearing a suit and tie at work, it looks even better. Okay,
It looks so good.
it looks awesome.
It looks
I'm not
so
gonna
awesome.
lie.
You professionally give kids candy out of your van.
Yes,
rather than-
I wear a suit and tie when I give out the candy. No, I'm just kidding.
That's so
But my point is yes, what you're saying, bro. Like I could definitely make fun of myself, and I try.
Yeah.
And I sometimes feel bad. Like a lot of jokes with my wife. Sometimes I feel like I'm ripping on her. So when I'm not, it's just like playful. Like, oh, she's really short.
Yeah.
She asks me to get stuff on the top shelf. So what I try to do is I try to bring it back on myself. Like, oh yeah, she gets me, dino nuggets of chocolate milk because I'm autistic. You know what I mean? Autism meal. You know what I mean? Make fun of myself.
But you look like
know?
he could be like the bad guy in the Steven Seagal movie, or he could just be like a tall barista.
Yeah.
He's like-
I like
he's
barista.
anywhere.
Do you want a
Like, the
macchiato
floor
today? No.
barista.
He's just offended at everything.
Yeah.
Like,
What the hell you tell? What you call me? I'm not a whatever the fuck it is. I'm
I
not
like
a
that he's
coffee
up to
clerk.
$1.70 and he's like, I'm getting fat.
Dude,
like,
honestly,
God,
dude,
I
the other
wish I was
night I was
$1.70.
bloated and I freaked. I was like, Melanie, my stomach is like hanging over my underwear.
Oh.
It's scaring me. I was like, I don't like
do you want to
this.
see a stomach hanging over underwear?
No, I'm
around?
good.
No, I'm just kidding.
We have to blur that out.
every brother has to have their own thing. That's your thing.
That's it. That's my thing.
He's
man.
got the
Just
So
like,
you
oh,
have a
fuck.
third brother. Does he do stand up?
He does not do stand up.
He supports,
He's
though.
taller than both of us.
Is he?
And so, Jonathan, his name. I'm sorry.
yeah, you
I
gotta
don't want.
start-
I don't want to take you. I don't want to like dime you out or anything.
Jonathan?
But it's actually a success story.
Yeah.
You think we're skinny?
Oh my
he
God.
was 100 and let's say 20 pounds.
Dude, he had a collapsed
at 6'4",
lung.
6'5".
He was so underweight.
He collapsed both his lungs twice, or one of his
was
lungs
one lung
twice.
twice.
Underweight?
For being so underweight.
Jesus.
And he took the bull by the horn and says, enough is a fuck enough. He went from 120 to 225.
All right.
And he's a
Bro.
fucking unit right
He's
now.
bigger than me,
Yeah.
Brett. He could fuck me up. And Jonathan, I bust your balls a lot. It realistically, I like to say,
It's
I'm the
inspiring.
bigger brother. I will still fight you, but honestly, bro, he'll probably fuck me up.
I don't care.
He's big.
I'd rather get my ass kicked than not fight him. But now he's getting a little pooch like me, and I'm like, hey,
okay.
welcome
He's
to the
got a-
club.
he
you know?
looks way
But he
better.
had to. The doctor literally said, bulk up, bro, because like you're so nastily skinny. It's not even good for
We
your
used to be
health.
like, bro, you're skinny. No, you're a skinny fuck. And then now I'm like, shit.
I like how Matt's like he's bigger than me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, Matt, you're like a popsicle stick with like drawings on it. Like,
I know.
Like, I was
Yeah,
saying-
our other brother walks around like this.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I know, right?
like,
Did you guys
for you,
fight?
buddy.
Did you guys fight when you were kids? Like, fist
Oh my
fight?
God, all the time. Me and Jonathan more than me and Rob.
Yeah, we were talking off camera. We were talking about boys will be boys, boys will be boys. We were in the basement of my parents' house, and we used to just put on boxing gloves and beat the fuck out of each other in the
Yeah.
basement. Just like, let's try it. Yeah.
Well, I've
So-
gotten to some pretty bad fights with my younger brother, and honestly, I'm sorry, bro. Me and you never did that, but me and he was getting into some fist fights, and I remember like we used to beat on each other. But that's just how this is what brothers did. You know what I mean? But as you get older, you know, he'd probably put me in a fucking headlock now.
It's all water under the fridge. At
Do you
this
guys
point.
feel like you can be honest with each other, the two of you, in terms of
All day.
no, but in terms of like jokes and stuff? Like,
Yeah.
Can you,
Yeah.
Can you go to Matt like, I don't
Yes.
think that's really working?
I'll be
Oh my
honest
God,
with them. You know
every
what I
day.
mean?
Yeah. That's good.
We have a group chat together with me, him, and my other brother.
Yeah, we pull
And
his fucking.
that
group
if he
shit up.
basically put it this way, if he texts me outside of the group chat, I think that's a weird move. Like,
Yeah.
brother, just
Yeah.
text me in the group chat,
Who,
so it doesn't
Jonathan or
matter.
me?
No, you.
Yeah,
or
so I
Jonathan.
texted. I actually said, hey Rob, at Rob in the group chat. Me and my brother said, Brett D is coming over at 7:30 tonight. If you
Great.
want to
Love it.
workshop a little bit, and then I'll text him outside and be like, hey man, let's go with the podcast episode. You edit it yet?
I'll text it back in the group chat. I said, don't fucking text me outside the group chat. Like, I
He's
want
"And
Jonathan
don't
to
ask me
see
what's going on with
everything.
the podcast episode because I'm always on top. I'm like,
You
did
guys
you
are
edit
lucky
it yet?
they close though. That's cool.
We are. Our family is super close. Me, him, my brother, my parents. I live 2 streets over from my parents. My in-laws
Just
are
don't tell
super
them your
close
address,
to
bro.
my
This is
parents. We're not gonna say it. Come on,
know.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's in the Little Prov,
Yeah.
if you, Warwick, Rhode Island.
Now I'm gonna get murdered. Thanks.
You're not gonna
No,
get
but
murdered.
we're all close and it's
Everyone's
very-
close.
yeah.
Everyone loves each other. It's all love.
But honestly, me and Rob interviewed with John Prada for the what is it? What do you call Prada's Funnies? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I guess
Yeah.
we get a shout out. We'll be on the Rhode Island Wave.
Yep.
Come
And
October,
John Prada's
which is cool.
his comedy section in there. But my point was like I said in his interview that'll be published in October was that I hang out with Rob more than I ever did like lately. I mean, as we hung out as kids, as we get older, him and my other brother be doing golf, freaking video games together. They like to
Day
go out and have some
drinking,
beers and
grill.
grill, which I'll go around for that. But this is like me and Rob's thing, and it's really nice. You know what I mean?
That's
And,
Yeah,
but it's been sweet. So I think this is
Yeah.
a side note. But I think we could get a brothers episode on here too, just the brothers too one night and just give an update on everything. But yeah,
I mean, I'll give you guys credit because I know that it's doing stand-up's hard,
It is.
especially when
It
you
is.
start. And I appreciate the fact that you guys are grinding at it, but also trying to do your own thing as well.
Yeah.
because that's a good way to learn. Because you'll learn like, all right, we got a killer headliner. What's the rest of the lineup look like?
Yeah,
you want to make sure it's at least
exactly. Oh,
decent,
yeah.
so people aren't sitting
Absolutely.
there for 45 minutes.
and
dying. So.
I
Yeah.
agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I tell Matt all the time, like, if we're going to be producing shows, just make it make sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like for
And-
this one show, they put me early. These guys are so much better than me. I don't want a burned out audience listening to my shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just strategic at the end of the day. You know,
It's funny, the
where you're
funny
at.
for funds formula is like the host does 15, the feature does like 25, and then the headliner does like 40 or whatever.
Makes sense.
And you can't always do that locally because everyone's not going to have that much time.
Yeah.
And you want to
Yeah.
get more people on it. But there is something to be said to shorten the lineup. And instead of having like 4 people do 7 or 8 minutes, have just shorter, one guy do 10, one do 15, feature headliner, make it like a 4-person.
Yeah, I
Lineup.
think
I can get that.
what we're gonna do with Langs is we got like this is like the first time like they approached Lang's, I know, like my friend's dad is like the guy that runs the whole place. And then the kid that the general manager I went to high school with, my friend Dick, he works there. Everyone knows each other, so it was really easy for me to be like, well, they approached me first because they were like, hey, you do comedy, would you want to help out? And but it's really been easy for me to be like, hey, let's try to organize it, right? And then so I'm hoping that they'll bring us back if it's a good turnout. But they asked Kyle Cody too, because again, we all went to school together and stuff. We know each other's parents, so it was very nice for them to ask him. So he's going to be on it. Eddie Marin, because I want to give Eddie an opportunity. Tony Max, who I really like, I really respect him. He's hustling, he's grinding. He's just a good guy. He supports everybody. He's very polite. So I said, I want to give you a hosting opportunity because he's a good host, and it's cool to be able to do that. And then we have some other comics too. But my point is that even with the podcast, I like when people ask us, hey, can I come on your show? And when I get to approach people and ask, because I like the idea of screening people too. Like I like checking out their material, get to know them a little bit, and then bring them on the podcast. A lot of people we brought on, I already know, like Brad, I've known you, so I didn't have to, check out your material before because I've seen it and I trust, but these newer comics that reach out to us, it's gonna be fun to let's check them out. Let's go meet an open mic, have a beer together, have a piece of pizza, talk, get the feel for it, and then let you on the podcast, because I can't just let anybody on the show. That's in the house, but it's a lot of fun. And with the comedy show, it'll be fun to hey, let's go scout some people. Let's go open mic. If it ever becomes that serious, be like, hey, let's go see some comics. That guy looks really fun. Let's talk to him. If he's killing it, let's get him on a show. You know what I mean?
It's funny how quick you can pick up. Like I hadn't seen Lucas Estrella. I saw him at Brad's show at the Dale.
Yeah.
The Wednesday, the booked mic thing, and I was like, this kid's funny.
Yeah.
And then I saw him a week later, and it was a whole new 8-10 minutes, like Brent. And I saw him a third time. It was all new jokes, and I'm like, shit, if this kid's writing that much,
he'll be on
he's
soon.
into it. You know what I mean? Like that's a sign. If someone's really trying not to
Yeah,
do shit all the
Lucas.
time, you're like,
Lucas
dang.
is a great example of someone
and
who
we got
devotes his life
that
to it.
banner logo. He made our
Lucas
podcast,
actually made it for us. Yep.
Yeah,
Lucas
he's a nice kid. He's very funny.
He's a great kid. His
guy,
family's a great. Yeah, exactly.
They're coming
cool
on
to
the show
support
too.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
They're coming on the show in October. Yep. We want to wait till he turned 18 in December. But I can't wait. Nope, that sounds gross.
That was a good move on your part, because me personally, with YouTube regulations, I was just like, all right, we're gonna wait till he's 18. He's like, nah, we gotta jump on this, and I agree with that. Especially now that YouTube cut our feature eligibility again. Thanks a lot, YouTube. I don't know what I did.
What did they do?
They cut my feature eligibility. So what that means is I timestamp every episode. So guys, look in the description. Everything's gonna be timestamped with Brett here. But what it takes away is the bars on the video itself. You're not going to be able to look at it or click it. When I link Brett's social media and all his shows coming up, you're not going to be able to physically click. You're going to have to copy and paste it. That's what they take away from you. But they give it back. They take it away. They give it back. Yeah. When they take it away, it's because you do something inordinate that they don't specify to you.
Yeah.
So I'll email their support, be like, what did me and Matt do that went against the terms of service? And they don't reply. Yeah. They don't get back to us. I could have said the F word too early, or we could have talked about a penis, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I just don't know that the algorithm for YouTube picks it up. So unfortunately,
this could be your movie ideas. Your brother taking on one of the biggest companies in the world. And just getting fucking pummeled. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
take it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Real
I was like, guys, he's like
American.
6. How tall are you?
6'3", literally.
6'3".
To the T, like not 1 inch over, 1 inch less.
277.
277 pounds.
He said that he went from 280 to 277.
3 pounds down, guys.
It literally was the magic 3 pounds, because now you're just killing it.
Now I'm just coasting it.
Yeah, he's like,
my daughter's like 3 pounds down.
What was your goal? 3 pounds.
3 pounds, that's it.
You're like 2 Matts.
We get a
bro,
pizza
seriously,
going.
yeah.
Married Matt.
In all honesty, though, guys, be healthy, stay in shape. All right.
Yeah.
I got to
lift
tell you,
weights.
I've been doing this stuff about joining the ladies' boot camp, but it's God's honest truth. And in December, I'm going to be 60. So it's like,
holy
shit, 60? You do not look anywhere.
I know.
Near
I thought you were in
60.
your 40s.
I got to
Me too. I was like, Brett, he's probably late 40s.
My sons are only 22 and 19. I don't want to be like,
You have some good genes.
Old man,
Brett has good genes.
Holy shit.
It's just like the American
You're
Eagle
almost
commercial.
as old as my dad. That's crazy.
One of the ladies in the boot camp, and I did this joke. She was in the audience,
Right.
and this was a true story. She said they announced in class that it was my birthday a year ago, and she came over. She goes, "Oh, how old are you?" And I said, "I'm 58." And she goes, "You look way better than my dad." And I go,
You look
shit.
good, Brad.
and I go, "Oh, okay." And I said, "How old's your dad?" And she goes, 77 years old.
Holy
and I was like,
shit. Okay.
"What did you think? I was the same age?" As
Yeah,
your dad?"
right.
I was like, what the hell does that even mean?
Not sure if this is a
Those
compliment
numbers
or
are
a
not even
diss.
close.
Right. That's so,
So,
funny.
yeah, I did that because she was in the audience that
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
She was sitting right near the stage
Yeah.
with 650 people, and I started kind of roasting her over that. and it
Yeah,
went
that's
really
funny.
well.
Yeah.
So. But
That's great.
Anyway, it's a crapshoot. You
Yeah.
guys know it's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
So.
Comedy is
What's your
sure.
capacity at Lang's? I'm just curious.
Yeah, good question.
I was told 110. So they said 110. So
How many tickets we got
I mean,
sold? 200.
Yeah, so I pretty much what I did, I gave all the guys tickets. I have some more right here. These are the extras. If anybody wants to buy one, message me
Langs.
directly. If it gets released in time.
We'll go bowling after, and if you come, so come on down.
So 110.
on.
Pretty much, we got family going. We got tickets sold on that. I've been pushing it at work, but we also got John Parada's showcase that I'm trying to promote and get tickets sold for as well. So we're trying to do a little bit of everything. You know, I want to help out John. I want to get my tickets sold. So
I give you guys credit though. You're putting on shows, but like you're trying to do it the right way.
yeah.
You know, you're getting
Absolutely.
tickets. You're getting good headliners.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got a place that sounds like it's going to be super cool.
Oh, it's a beautiful venue.
Langs
in
is
there.
great.
And then
Yep.
you know it's so weird when you put on a show though. There's like so many things to think about.
Oh yeah.
And it's
yeah.
almost like the last thing you're thinking about is your set,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
you know when that the night of has to be like the thing.
Yep.
But
Has to
leading
be.
up to it, you're like, are we advertising it? Do we have the
Yep.
seats? What's
Yep.
the sound system? Do
Yep.
we have a spotlight?
Yep.
Yeah,
Da-da-da-da.
Absolutely. How am I
So,
going to pay my talent?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a big thing that
You
came
got to
up.
sell
You
the
know?
tickets.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I had a good discussion with like the guy that's running it, stuff like that, and we're all on the same page. I'm feeling really good about it. And at the end of the day, you know, it's the headliner's gonna get paid, all that good stuff, and all work out. You know what I mean? We're all it's all. The only thing we gotta do is just sell the tickets, and we're good. You know what I mean? Everything's gonna go good.
Yeah.
They got the sound already. I got a banner, actually, like a holder, like the awning type thing that you clip the curtain onto, and then I got a Roy Brothers comedy banner being made, so you know we can have that. But yeah, to having
have a
that
spotlight if
and
you want to borrow it.
Yeah,
don't
definitely like
let's
that.
let's get the lights off and a spotlight on
got a
our
spotlight,
talent
yeah, if
because
you want.
I cannot stand a full
Yeah,
bright
I
room.
appreciate that. Yeah, no.
Drives me fucking
Yeah,
bananas.
so I'm gonna talk with them and see how their lighting is because
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, and if they don't have one, I'll definitely
Are you
Appreciate
planning
that.
on between now and the show? Do you think you'll put on any more weight?
honestly.
You should just come out with a weighted
No.
vest on and just be
I'm so obsessed with Matt's weight because he's like those things you see out in front of the car dealership, the things that like weight.
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
wacky
Fucking
inflatable arm
anomaly.
flailing tube
Like,
mans.
I can't believe, like I feel like if you put on 5 pounds, it would be noticeable.
You should put a glow in a dark shirt on, just stand
Well,
outside
I've
of people's lawns. So you
definitely-
could be like a fucking Halloween skeleton, just like
I think you should have a. I would be like, I like weird things. Like I would be obsessed with your shows if you would just do like a weigh-in before, like Canelo
in his
Alvarez.
fucking underwear.
You could,
Yeah,
you
right.
could be the guy weighing, like you'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
he's at 141. He might have
Yeah.
overtrained for the
yeah,
show.
yeah, right. I mean, I'm definitely better now than I was before. Trust me, my stomach was like inverted, like it was I was disgusting, skinny. But
Did you not eat much, or you had one of those metabolisms?
I definitely had a
Metabolisms,
fast
dude.
metabolism, but I definitely probably
This
didn't
guy
eat as
will
much.
fucking
annoying.
glizzy glob anything.
Yeah, I love to eat. Trust me, but I eat a lot of. I was eating a lot of junk, but I'm a bit better now. I don't eat
Yeah.
pizza every day anymore. Like I used to eat pizza all the time.
Oh, thank God.
Pizza, chips, fucking.
Yeah.
When I was working at Walmart, I was sitting in the office all day and watch cameras. So I was bored, so I would eat candy and drink Mountain Dews, and we'd order pizza for dinner because we'd work second. I'd be there till 10 o'clock at night. We'd be ordering Big Tony's, fucking 2
Big
boxes of
Tony's.
pizza. I'm a skinny guy. Where does it go? Nowhere. But I'm getting heart palpitations and fucking major anxiety. So I was like, you know what? Cut back on that. And my
Dude, I'm
wife
telling
cooks
you,
bomb
I know
ass
that
meals.
your
So.
Walmart bit is your signature bit. There's so much more.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Like at some point, you're going to do a 10-minute set just on Walmart.
After the conversation
Yeah,
we
I
had
think you will.
before the mic, me and you workshopped a
Yeah,
little bit.
There's so much there.
That's my goal, and I appreciate
Even
it.
just now talking about the cameras, like there's got to
Yeah.
be some funny.
Oh my God.
Shit. Like just out of
Yeah.
boredom, what do you do when you're watching the cameras? You know what I mean?
You know?
I know you're married, so you can't say looking at. I was gonna say looking at hot chicks, but it's Walmart.
Yeah, and
Oh,
at the same
boy.
time, you don't want to be labeled as a creep either. But
Oh, yeah.
Like a
I've had-
Walmart.
I watch
dealer
people
is
for a
like
living, but I'm not a
Target
creep.
too.
Yeah,
So,
right.
You know,
She looked good at
Target's just the
Walmart.
white people's Walmart, right?
Yeah, right. It's like when you get home and you take that girl home from Walmart and you realize she's ugly. It's kind of like when you take a girl out. Take a girl home from the club and it's all dark in there. You take her outside. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, you
know
went
what I
home
mean?
with a
Same
Walmart,
thing.
but you had your Target glasses on. You're like,
Yeah.
oh fuck.
yeah, there's so much there. That
Yeah.
how long did you work there for?
Almost 6 years, and
Yeah, that's
I did the security
that's
there
totally
pretty much the whole
right
time.
for.
Oh yeah, I had a woman, and this is a true story. I mean, I don't want to say she.
Had a woman.
I don't want to say she
had a woman.
assaulted me, but she honestly made me very
Oh.
uncomfortable. She's this older lady, and she was, dude. God, I'm gonna get canceled. But she
canceled,
sounded
stop
like
it.
a boy. She looked like a boy. Like she had like a very manly features. She was like dressed like she didn't like she wasn't clean. She was like a very rough and tough, very tomboyish woman.
Okay.
And she was old and short. She had white hair. Her name was Deb.
Oh my God, she
And
was
share
definitely a
hands-
truck
Is she
driver.
Single
Got it.
because
Nah,
my
bro.
demographic. Right there.
I'm telling you,
My
dude.
demographic.
She was like probably like in her late 70s, and she had
Yes.
dry hands. It's like she left her hands outside all winter. All winter, she had her hands dried out, like sitting there with no lotion.
Her hands that you knew they were dry.
She stuck it in my mouth. I was
What the
yawning, and
fuck?
she came up and fucking stuck her finger in my mouth. She's
I've
like,
never heard this.
She's like, I fingered you, and I was like, I honestly,
You got
guys.
figured by a trucker named Deb.
Yeah. And honestly, guys, I'm not really the guy to complain, but I had to bring it to a manager because I felt very uncomfortable. She fucking violated me,
I
bro.
need a manager.
And all I was trying to do was stock light bulbs.
Oh, so here comes the promo part. So Matt and Deb now have a OnlyFans. It's
Yeah.
only $20 a month.
Yeah.
He screws on a light
And
bulb.
it's just her
Yeah, fingering a
sticking shit in
skeleton.
his mouth.
Bro.
Oh
Toe,
my
Deb's toe in the mouth.
Bro, her
This is
finger
fucked
was
up. I've
so
never heard
dry, I
this.
felt like a fucking lizard tried
It's like
gagging
going
me.
down on a mummy.
Yeah, no, it was like going down on an anaconda. It was disgusting.
That story is really disturbing.
Honestly,
sucks.
guys,
I can
all jokes
taste that
aside,
finger right
it was
now.
fucking
I
nasty.
know. How tall was she that she could reach?
She was short. She was probably like
How'd she reach?
She's probably,
She-
she's
she
probably
did
like 5 foot tall. She looked like a little boy.
Though?
She fucking went like that.
Jump,
I know,
a
you're
jump
like
shot.
9 feet tall.
Her
yeah.
finger alone was probably like a good 13 inches. It was like,
Like
What
E.T.
the fuck
Yeah.
is wrong
Did you
with
pull it
this
at
picture?
E.T.?
bro, I needed like a 2.
E.T. phone
I needed
home.
like, yeah. I needed like a fucking gallon of water. My mouth was so dry afterwards. She took all the moisture out of my
seriously,
mouth.
So we're laughing at the story, and you haven't even
Jesus
tried to
Christ, I've never
workshop it
heard of
yet.
this.
I know.
That's hilarious.
I know. Like, it felt like a dried carrot. You know when you leave a carrot out on the counter for like 3 days?
But that could be like why you left Walmart. Like
Yeah.
if you you know, to use that as some kind of bit, because that's
The carrot came before the stick.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had to leave me out of that fucking place.
Yeah, that's gold because it's a real story. Like you know,
Holy
it's way
shit.
more effective when it's
Goddamn.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
real.
real story because you know it.
You
know?
could tell it with more enthusiasm because it's real.
Yeah, and you can punch it up and
my
do some
God,
other stuff with it, but just
Deb-
on its own.
God damn it. If you're still alive, you old bat, you fucking fingered my mouth and I didn't appreciate it. But I'm going to make a joke out of it. Thank you.
I feel like that was like code to Deb, like call me.
Yeah,
like
cool.
Deb.
Bro, she asked me to go out to her car one day on lunch. I said, fuck no.
She was
Does
a
she work
regular?
there?
She was a fucking
Yeah, it was
regular?
my coworker.
Whoa. Stop.
Oh, so we
Stop it.
didn't
I
say
thought this
that.
was a fucking customer
I thought so,
shoplifting
too.
and threw a
Oh,
fucking
no.
dry finger in your mouth.
That's what I thought too.
Oh my, this is a coworker?
Yes. And
Did
that's
she
why I said
smoke Virginia Slims and shit?
She
And it's like,
smoked. And she was very, like,
Matt,
she
let
was
me
very,
stick my finger in your
Yeah.
mouth tonight, baby.
I can't even remember how she talked, but she kind of had a raspy voice and she had a dried hands. And she would suck on mints, and she fucking stuck that fucking crusty witch finger in my mouth, and her finger was so dry, it took all the moisture out of my body. I swear to God, I needed 2 gallons of water to rehydrate
That's why I'm
myself.
Skeletor today.
Yeah.
I think this idea though of like if your Walmart character is like
Like a
too
pushover.
easygoing,
Yeah.
and everyone takes advantage of you, that's like a perfect.
Yes.
Hey,
That's a
Deb, do you want to
perfect
ride
story.
home?
Yeah. And she was like, "Oh, we should go to lunch. You want to come out to the park on me? I got my car. We go get a lunch." I said, "No."
I'm feeling gummy today.
Fucking shout out to Deb.
But hey,
though.
you know what,
She was
guys?
like employee of the year.
Deb, I hope you're not
I'll tell
dead,
you
bro.
right now, if I knew my girlfriend at the time was going to cheat on me like she did, if I could see the future, I probably would have went in the parking lot with that lady. Okay? End the podcast, guys. Have a great night. Thank you for coming.
Matt loves gum jobs, everybody.
No, I was talking about the finger. I probably would have taken more of it.
All right, it's not
I'm
the
just
crack
kidding.
teeth. It's
I'm
not the
just
gum
kidding.
jobs. It's the fucking
They got
mummy
really
finger
fucking.
in
I
the
feel like I was
ass.
at an open fucking mic trying a new joke. Thanks, guys.
That worked, man. That
Dude, the
was
crickets
good.
outside
And I
just
thought you were
fucking made it
I
look-
thought you were ending it. It's just fine.
The mummy, the
Yes.
tape came off the mummy right now. I don't know what's going on here.
So,
No,
just
but-
guys, big surprise. We didn't tell them. Deb,
Yeah,
Deb is here tonight.
Deb, what, come
Lap
on in.
dances for everyone.
Woohoo! Yeah, you're.
Wait a second, that looks like your wife.
Body.
Matt actually
Wait a
just,
second.
Matt actually just was like, did like a little trauma wipe. He's
Yeah, I
like,
was
is it Deb? You went right for his
I gotta close my mouth. That's why I got the mustache.
Oh, it's the Deb
Holy
filter.
shit.
Yeah,
You gotta filter that finger.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That mustache looks kind of fucked up right
Yeah,
now.
for real.
Deb. I can't believe you never told your brother about Deb.
I've never heard that
know.
story ever.
I've told my therapist about it. Hey, Rob, I'm being honest. When you edit this video, can you please put a timestamp to just straight Walmart Deb, and then just have this whole bit separate so people don't miss
Yeah,
it?
that's fine. Yeah, that's
You know?
fine.
All right, guys. I am.
Walmart Deb.
I'm gonna end it on that. Though.
Edit on that.
Yeah,
we're not
I-
done. Yeah, we're having too much fun.
Oh my god, that was.
you have any
funny.
crazy Walmart stories, Brett?
Yeah,
I
all
don't
right.
have a Walmart. My son works at Walmart.
Yeah, which
there's,
one?
I'm sorry
Super
for him.
Walmart in Cranston. He's
Yeah.
the one. He just went back to school for
See, I
his
got all
sophomore year.
excited. I love when people tell me they know somebody that works at Walmart.
I know a guy, Matt, shout out, in Ohio. His name's Matt, too. It's
Yeah.
crazy. He works loss prevention for Walmart
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
And apparently Ohio's
Did
really
he ever have
good
his
cops.
mouth finger banged by an old woman? Hey,
No,
man,
he
no
told me
trust the
he's.
Egyptian
He
lady?
told me he saw someone get it. Their
Cleopatra.
face slammed into a quarter panel of a car in the parking lot. Though.
Listen,
You know what? I gotta
That's
say,
fine.
like, it's like you have such empathy for women like who get sexually harassed in the
Big time.
workplace.
Yeah, of course.
But if that happens to you, so I was 18 years old. I was working at a restaurant, and one of the waitresses, she was on her journey of like recovery and everything else,
Sure.
and so I was making a pizza. I was in the corner of the pizza oven, and she got into bodybuilding, so she was wicked jacked,
Oh.
and she pinned me in the
right.
corner by this hot pizza oven, and she
fuck.
said, my therapist told me that I should just be honest with my feelings. Now I was like 18 years old,
Yeah.
and she was like 30. And she started telling me that she like had the hots for me, and she had this like bristly mustache, not
fuck.
not at your level,
Well, okay.
not at your level, but pretty. She was pretty bristly, like maybe
Kind of like Rob's.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're talking like.
And
So she took some testosterone.
Portuguese
or-
woman?
exactly,
Mustache?
yeah.
Some
No, it
creatine.
was like I don't know if she was on something, but so anyway, she was talking about this, and she was getting closer and closer, and I couldn't hear any words she was saying, but I was just looking. I was just looking at the mustache, like as her lips moved, the mustache
Yeah.
was like moving. You know what her name was? Deb.
Yeah.
Fuck
It
off.
was.
bro.
But the rest of the story is true, and it's like it's so weird when someone puts you in that position. It's so
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Stop,
honestly,
Deb, you're
that
tickling
pissed
me.
off.
It's like
Yeah, she bothered the crap
She
out of me.
blinded
And
me.
She was
with
annoying
science.
too.
Yeah.
And she'd
crazy.
be flirting me and stuff. I'm like, lady. I'm like, I was probably like 22 at the time, maybe 20. Not even.
Jesus Christ.
No, I had my first legal beer. I was working at Fat Billy's when I was 21, so I was probably.
That was your first legal beer. Got it.
Yeah, my first legal beer was at Picasso's, but yeah, no, I remember because when I worked at Fat Billy's, I thought I was cool drinking fucking was it Angry Orchards. I was like, hit me, bartender. Even though I knew the bartender.
I think
she
you've
was
had
like,
enough. I'll tell you when I had enough.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't really drink.
that was
but-
legal drink.
Yeah, that was my
Angry
legal
Orchard?
drink. Yep.
Jeez.
My first legal drink was a Yingling at Picasso's Pub. Thanks, Dick,
Nice.
for my first legal beer.
Good job, Matt. I'm
But,
glad you waited until 21 to have your first drink.
Yeah, honestly, guys, I'm fucking lame. All right, I don't drink. I don't smoke.
That's not lame. That's not lame.
I'm a party pooper. When I'm not filming the podcast or doing comedy, I'm sitting at home.
You know what's funny
Combing
though?
his
It's like you
mustache.
try to come up with real life things and try to make them funny. So like that story just inherently is like really
The
funny.
Deb one.
So I quit drinking like
that's
25
bad.
years ago.
Nice.
And people are like, oh, you should try to do some jokes about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'm not opposed to it, but I just
why not?
can't come up with anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some topics that you think are going to be
Yeah.
would be like a gold mine.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to talk about it. I just can't.
fine.
I've tried to write stuff down, and I guess because a lot of comics already do that stuff about
Yeah.
like, giving up drinking.
I see a lot of guys go up there, I'm 5 years sober or whatever,
Yeah.
but I don't remember any crazy jokes
I mean,
about
I
it.
can
No.
commemorate them. You know what I mean?
Just give them a round of applause and
But there are
Yeah.
topics that you think are going to be gold, and then they end up being not so great. And then,
Well,
like my closing joke
Yeah.
is about my mom having an iPhone, and it's
Yeah.
like so on its surface, it doesn't sound inherently funny, but I've done other things where I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to, like, the joke that the story I told when I bombed at a skew was God's honest truth. It was a true story. I had a roommate. I was living on the east side, and I was looking for a roommate. So some guy knew a guy that he barely knew. He was a medical resident over at Miriam Hospital, and he was a OBGYN doctor. And,
Sweet.
And so he was from the South. And anyway, we ended up living together, and he was kind of a weird dude. And so he used to steal my clothes all the time. So like I'd find like shirts missing, sweatshirts and everything else. I didn't know him that well, so I wasn't going to go in his room. So he went back to Georgia for a week. So I was like, screw it, I'm going in and I'm going to find my stuff. So I find this box of clothes, like all my stuff, and throw it out. And then there was more stuff and I couldn't find it. I went in the closet and he had a box of porn. It was like the 90s, so he had a bunch of VHS tapes.
Bunch of bush.
Now this guy, I'll tell you in a sec. This is the story I told. It didn't get any laughs, but I still think it's like really funny. But maybe it's just gross. So he had a whole collection of porn tapes, and the name of the series was Ready to Drop. And he'd gotten rid of the covers and everything else. And just it was DVDs, and it just said Ready to Drop 1, 2. So I thought it was porn with like really old women who were like ready, they could die at any minute. Like that's what I thought Ready to Drop was.
That's funny.
Instead, it was women who were like 9 months pregnant having sex. But he was an OBGYN who would like deliver babies.
He had a fetish for sure. He was getting
He had a fetish and he was a doctor.
Yeah,
but I
that's
told that
creepy.
story, and the reaction is exactly what he's doing
You're like,
right now. People were like, what the
Yeah, right.
But I thought it was a funny topic. But
Yeah, right.
So people
now it's
that
like Googling, it's like Ready to Drop.
they put themselves
Where
in
do I
those
find
positions, right? Like child molesters love to be school bus drivers.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, he put
just
himself
kidding.
in
When
that
you said about to drop, I was thinking like
Ready to Drop. It's a classic.
you look at porn ready to drop.
Like people dropping turds.
I was like, drop what? Like a bucket of lotion down a well? Like it puts the lotion on
I
the
thought
skin?
it was old ladies who were going to die.
That's
like, could
fucking
potentially
funny.
die in the middle
Holy
of
That's
that
funny.
shit.
That's kind of funny.
But anyway, that was the story that I told at a scoop. But it's weird that
Don't
you
kink
think,
shame him, damn it.
Yeah, right.
It's weird things that you think will inherently be funny aren't, and then you could do like Bill does the joke about rotaries, and you're like, how can that be?
But
a bit? And
it's all
one of
about
the best
delivery,
bits.
too.
Of course, it's
It's one
funny.
of the
Yeah.
best bits anyone
Yeah.
does.
This is a house of learned doctors.
Well, Rob, what we should do, I'll put it on the bucket list. You should go out. We should go see a Bill Simon show, and you should see Brad
I'd love to
Pierce,
see a
and then we
Bill
should
Simon
do
show.
a comedy bus too one night.
I'd love to see all that. I'd love to see Brett live.
Well,
I've
comedy
never
bus, you have to
seen
like book it with like a bunch of people, but we could try to do something like that one day. We'll get a couple
I got
people
so
together.
I have a show it'll probably be too late, but I have a show this weekend in Middleborough, which is Stephanie White's hometown at this place called the Mitchell Memorial Club.
yeah.
And the lineup is Brad Pierce is headlining, me, Steph, and Barry.
Oh, damn,
That's
that's a good
insane.
one.
What a great lineup.
Yeah, it's a good lineup.
Do you have anything outside of that show?
Yeah, let's say, is
I
there
got a
anything
bunch
you
of
want to
stuff
promote?
coming up.
I need a lead
I
time,
have
man.
2 shows coming up in October for Alex Mann.
Okay.
Who's out of Mass. And
I'd love to come
he's
see you,
putting
Brett.
on some really good shows. So one of them's at this place Gallery X in New Bedford, and one's at a place in Norwood called like the Irish Brewing Company.
Oh, Norwood's doable. New
So I've
Bedford's
gone out
doable.
to see Alex. He puts on like first class shows, so that's going to be.
We should go to like the Norwood show.
Yeah, well, I'll take a look at your
Norwood. So we're
flyers.
talking like Norwood, Mass.
Yeah,
Like that's near kind of like Westwood Canton area.
yeah, but there's the
Yeah.
one in New Bedford. It's at this fun art gallery. But I'll let you guys know if I'm doing some shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, but I want
We
to
wanna
come
come
see
see.
your show. What day of the week is that on?
It's a Thursday night, and it'll probably be like standard, probably done around.
Dude,
9.
I'm going to tell you that you have hit the sweet spot with Thursday night because everyone wants to do Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah.
But headliners are oftentimes free on Thursdays.
Yeah,
so
October
they'll take a
2nd.
show.
Thursday.
That's
awesome.
great
What's
to know.
their actual 61st anniversary too?
Yeah.
So it's like the that's
Whose
that's
anniversary?
Lang's Bowlarama.
Lang's
Oh,
Bowlarama.
really?
Yeah.
So yeah, that one they're $40, but you get a meal with it. You get the buffet.
Yep.
It starts at 7. They'll probably be done around like 9.
And a beer on me.
Yep.
Come on out.
Yeah.
You get a buffet?
Yeah, you got a buffet, dude.
What's in the buffet?
With secret
I
code
think
Robbie Boy.
it's going to be like chicken parm and stuff like
That's
that, a
awesome.
little bit of everything. So yeah, the guys
Guys
are
are
Lang's.
first class. Let me tell
I
you.
want to give him some food.
Yeah, I'd love to
I'm
see you there,
shocked
Brett.
I wanna
I
feed
am
you.
so shocked that your brother has not had to piss again.
I have to pee. That's why I was trying to wrap it up.
I can
I
just
don't
hear
have to
the
pee at all.
cushion like squinching,
Yeah.
like it's very wet.
I know. Yeah, he has a diaper on.
I do.
Oh,
That's
But
the secret of my success.
yeah,
I should not talk to a 270-pound man that way.
You can talk to me. I
He's
don't want
77.
to. I don't want to fuck with your son.
I'm not being a dick, but I liked you better at 280.
That's what his wife said.
That was the real you, I feel. And now you're a little judgy.
You're a
No.
bitch.
I know, I get it.
At 277, you're kind of judgmental. Yeah. I let you better the other way.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Well, that's the end of that.
Yeah. Mic drop, literally. All right, well,
my tech deck,
we'll wrap it
everybody.
up, Brett. But you
did
got
a
your shows you
kickflip.
promoted. But is there any
Well,
shout outs you want to
yeah.
give? Anything like that
Brett,
before we wrap
plug
it up?
all your shit, man. All your shows, all your shout outs.
Brett Davey comedy on Instagram, but
Link
I do
below.
want to give a shout. I do want to, and I always talk about him, but I do want to give a shout out to Bill Simus, who's been like the single most important person, both just in witnessing how he does shows, but putting me on shows, but also just as a role model, as someone who
Yeah.
like does it the right way.
Nice, I love that.
Puts on shows the right, super professional. Every detail matters.
Yep.
Where the seats are, everything. So. He's kind of been a role model, but this has been fun. It's funny we hadn't met before, but
No, we
you guys
haven't
are a
met.
lot of
You guys
fun,
hit
and
off like
we've
you
met a
guys-
while.
Brett, you're
So-
a good guy.
I gotta
love
say, because
talking to
the
you.
other shows I've watched, I feel like Matt is doing all the talking.
Yeah, Rob-
I think that's
dude, Rob
bullshit.
came
You know, you're
alive
not
tonight.
you're not the first person to say that. My wife
But
says
I
that all
tried
the
to
time.
engage
A lot
with
of our
Rob. I'm
guests say
like,
the same
hey,
thing.
what do you think? Well, I don't know, Rob. Maybe you could comment on. He just goes, yeah. And I'm like trying to bring it in, but
All right,
no,
so guys, what it is
oh god,
fuck it.
Oh no, I want this to be like Oprah. Can we?
It's not Oprah. It's like, so for Brett
Very
tonight,
Springer.
it's been great. I had a Red Bull. I had a couple Molson Ices, whatever. So I'm more animate. But any other night, I usually don't drink. I usually whatever.
Worked all
3
day.
kids. I'm a sales guy. I'm always on the road. So I apologize. I'm a little tired.
But this was honestly
Not tonight though.
Not tonight.
Tonight you were fired
came
up.
alive
Brett's a
tonight.
fucking man. I love this guy.
I think it's Matt. I think we should sub in the other brother because I think Matt's bringing you down.
Yeah. I
Well,
just
that
want.
hurts.
I think you're underrated as one of the brothers.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Matt said you're top 3, and I'm like, he's at least top 2.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't the cocaine I snorted off his
Yeah,
mustache
right. Fucking off
before I
my
came
trunk
in.
lid. No, but honestly, dude, we had there was a lot great episode. Me and you, Brett, we hung out for like an hour before the show.
Yeah, Brett, you're
I
a
had a
good dude,
blast. I
man.
spent a
Good
lot of
meeting
time with you tonight, and I'm glad we've got to do this.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Super
We're
fun.
definitely gonna get together again soon for sure. We'll definitely workshop and stuff. Guys, check out Brett on Instagram.
Check him out, dude.
On his Brett
Links
Davey
below.
Comedy. Check out his shows. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. 'Cause
The
it's
energy came from
a lot of
Brett. That's what it was. I snorted a bunch of Brett tonight. It was
All
amazing.
right, one last shout out to Deb. We love you.
fun. Yes, thank you, Deb. I'll see you later.
All right. Finger me.
Later, guys.
See you guys.
Peace.